Hello and welcome back to Xpwaste, where, baby, you can jubbly my jive any day. Hi, I'm Michael.
Damn, and I'm a little excited. Hi, my name is Oxie. We're a podcast that talks almost exclusively about old school RuneScape, and today, finally, after like 8 years of waiting, we're finally here talking about RuneScape today. Big day. We're talking about sailing, going to give it our final official Xpwaste review. It's going to be great. If you're not new around here, I just finished charting the seas maybe 20 minutes ago. Good stuff. We'll talk about it. So, how have you been this week, Michael? What you been up to? As if I don't already know.
Yeah, I've been good. I mean, this week has been fairly decent as far as life things. It was a holiday week in the States, so we had Thanksgiving last week. I hope you guys enjoyed our Thanksgiving episode. I know that it was interesting to edit, and I can assure you, like, if it sounds bad, that's on me. And there's a plan to go and re-upload it and try to see if we can fix up the audio a little bit just to make it sound better. But I really liked that episode. I mean, going back and editing it, it was just I was reminded of my folly with pouring an entire glass of wine on Oxie's laptop.
Still doesn't work, by the way. I need to take it in at some point before bingo starts. But yeah, it still does not work.
And by take it in, do we mean go to Best Buy and buy another one?
No, I mean take it into a repair shop, because I'm not a filthy capitalist and I'm happy to, get my stuff repaired.
That's
instead
true.
of pay a big corporation around this time of year. Come on now.
Yeah. But if it's going to cost like $2,000 to repair it, I vote we just get a new one.
I was gonna say, if it costs $2,000 to repair, I'll make the decision and put it down. I don't think it's going to cost that much. I don't think it's going to cost that much. I really don't.
Alrighty. Well, that's good to know. But yeah, I was reminded of my plight and my folly, and it's just, I'm sorry. But well, moving on from that, the episode was fun. I really thank you, Oxie. I've told you thank you, but I do want to thank you again for making the food. It was very, very good. You put a lot of effort into it, and I really appreciate you for doing that. I know you didn't have much help, and you knocked it out of the park. So, thank you so much for doing that. And I don't know if this is going to be like a yearly thing where one of us flies out to the other and we eat food in person, but I think that would be fun. Like next year, I came to Michigan in the month of November at some point, and you made me dinner. I make you dinner. God forbid. No, Oxie's not into that. I help.
Michael's gonna make me dinner with a bunch of pre-bought shit. Michael kept being like, "Oh God, what was it that you wanted to pre-buy?" It was something else.
It was just the mashed potatoes.
No, it was something else other than the mashed potatoes.
It was the green bean casserole.
It was like, yeah, we can buy green bean casserole. I'm like, brother, why in the world? Why would we do that?
Granted, it might have turned out better.
Well, now that I know you have to cook them properly, that I can do. That's not too bad.
Yeah, it does make a big difference. What else? So, the week of Thanksgiving, it was rough and tough here at my house. My wife was sick. We think she has tonsillitis again, but that meant that she was basically either working or sleeping, and sometimes doing both. And my son didn't have his daycare the entire week, so the ability to play RuneScape was almost zero. I did manage to get on some of the evenings and train my sailing, and when I say I've not been on I've not touched land for more than I need to maybe make some bars or make some hull parts. I've not touched land in 2 weeks. That is not an exaggeration. And I love it. Sailing is such a good skill. Oh man, this is what the episode is about, so I'm not going to go into it right now. But I mean, I really like sailing. So I got to 57, I think, on my main, and then I'm up to 62 on the iron. And the only reason I'm training it on the iron right now is because bingo is coming up. I think when the episode goes out, bingo will be in like
Bingo's 2
2 days.
days away, baby.
Yeah.
Bingo's 2 days away at that point.
And I think by then I'll probably have stopped training it on the iron, and I'll have moved to like bingo prep. I think that's probably on the cards because I'd like to get some more Slayer points, potentially stock up a better Slayer task than neck reels. Even though I know what's on the board, I'm not going to like abuse that. You guys know that. Oxie knows that. But there is standard things that everybody does. Like you get your ecumenical keys, you get your Slayer points, you find a cool task that you might want to do. You get, as an Iron Man, you make sure you have enough food, make sure you have enough potions, make sure you have enough charges for things. So like that's what I need to sit down and do. Because like I said, I've not left the high seas since November 19th. And it's today is December 1st for us. So like 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. Have you touched the land, Oxie? That's what I'm wondering.
Genuinely, not once. I have not touched land. I think I was talking about it last night with my bingo team because teams got sent out, teams got announced. Great bingo team, by the way. I mean, it's Sunday, so it's fresh. Sunday? It's not Sunday, it's Monday today. But it's fresh in our heads that the bingo teams got sent out. I love my team. I'm so excited. RIP, our king, Submediant. We had to sacrifice him to the gods above, which is thematic for this bingo event. But it's been great so far. I was talking last night with my team, and I mentioned that I have not done any PVM other than like 15 Shellbane Griffin kills since November 19th. My cash stack has hemorrhaged.
Oh no.
I was not the most liquid rich main in the world to begin with, but I had a green cash stack on November 18th. I'm currently sitting with my entire cash stack of 512,673 GP in my inventory right now while I salvage at the Fremennik salvage here. So this skill kind of expensive.
Oh my gosh. That's bonkers.
What's been killing me is the magic stones, because like some things are just like, it's a kind of a one-time purchase, like, oh, you got to make your camp for hulls and all this other shit. But like what's been killing me has been the magic stones because I keep getting these new high-level islands and then suddenly it's another 1.5 mil to build the bank chest and another 1.5 mil to build the bank chest. Like,
oh man,
it's like, okay, cool, yippee. But yeah, the content's been fantastic so far. Other than bleeding GP on the main, I have really no bad things to say about it. I have been on the ocean. I've done a little bit on the iron. I have like 24, 25 sailing on the iron. My goal was to be able to, I got a rosewood seed in my first salvage. Hell yeah. Is that like worth money? I don't know. Somebody tell me how much rosewood seeds are worth. It says 91K on the GE, but I'm miserably poor, so any money would work.
He's fiending for it.
But I am fiending for it, let me tell you. But yeah, I've been on the ocean. Like I said, my plan on the iron was to like train it up a little bit and get stuff for Michael for bingo. And then he like within 2 days is at like 40 sailing. I'm like, okay, cool. Guess it does not matter then.
Well, okay. The lead bars that you did were a huge help.
I know I'm pretty great like that, but
like, that was the one resource that I had nothing prepped. So it's like I already had a bunch of bars.
My goal was to get to Tortuga to get camphor.
Oh,
but I mean, playing on the Iron Man. So.
Right now, I am just now hitting the point where I can make a camphor cargo hold thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you still had time if you wanted to do it, but. No rush, no worries not doing it.
I mean, now we're kind of in bingo prep mode.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think I'm trying to shift my focus from like doing all the sailing things to like kind of refocusing onto bingo. I've charted the entire sea, all 375 charts. I've got the keg full of the Horizons lure. I hit the Marlin time on Gwyneth Glide. It only took me 100 resets, but I did get the Marlin time on Gwyneth Glide.
Damn, dude.
Currently sitting at 81 sailing, 2358 total level. And I've done a lot of the things. And now for the next 11 million-ish XP, it's going to be Gwyneth Glide or AFK Salvage. That's going to be one of the two.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm excited for it. I'm excited for that process again. I'm excited to have something to AFK that matters on the main, which is going to be very nice. So that's what I have been up to. I got to put the crystal extractor on my sloop. That's the one thing I have been forgetting.
By the time this episode comes out, I think that will have been fixed. I'm interested to see what they do. Or maybe it won't be. I don't know. Maybe they want to take more time.
What do you mean by fixed?
So the crystal extractor gives you the 600 XP every like minute or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They said that was like an unintended way of just like getting 0 time XP. And so they would like, if you do it every 30 seconds or every minute while you're just sailing around, I think it's 30 or 36k XP basically for free. And so there was a post about it in like the feedback that their idea was that they wanted to spread out potentially that however much you get for constantly doing the extractor. They want to move that XP around into other activities that you're doing on your boat, such as trimming the sails or the Barracuda trials. So I don't know if that has gone through. Like I said, Oxy's, I think are you looking for it right now?
So from what I'm seeing from the changelog they posted a little bit ago, the crystal extractor no longer works while near the docks or bank boat. While we enjoy how you've been using the extractor to give some extremely passive sailing experience while being able to bank stand, train other skills, feels against the spirit of sailing. So I think it has less to do with it being able to be AFK'd and more with the fact that you can do it while training other skills. So right now, while salvaging, you can theoretically still do it, right?
Oh yeah, Tiki
Crystal
posted it
Extractor
here.
is giving a lot of experience, feeling like compulsory gameplay. We're considering taking some of this XP and redistributing to other areas of the game, but the team will continue to monitor the situation this week before making any adjustments.
So like I said, that was, to me, that read like potentially by the next update, but it still could be, it could be months away for all we know.
I don't think it will take that long.
Tiki also just posted, this will likely be a change set for next week as part of our wider XP review. No changes are being made this week as the team is taking a considered approach and reviewing data before we make those adjustments.
Well, speaking of not having the money for magic stones, I can't even put it on there because I genuinely don't have 2 million GP to put on there. So unfortunately, in this situation, procrastinators do not win. But it's okay because by the end of bingo, when I win, we'll make a shitload of money.
Yeah.
Me and my team are going to take the top spot and I'll have enough money to buy a bunch of different boats. That's the goal. So yeah, I have been sailing the high seas. That's been my update. That's truly it.
And that's a good update for us to have. Like both of us are like, we haven't touched land. That's a great way to segue into what we did. Like we wanted to talk about this episode, which was basically our thoughts. So like expanding on what we did since the 19th, since we didn't actually have an episode that contained any sailing last week. So this week being that very first week, you're getting, I would say you're getting a better review than if we had posted an episode last week related to sailing. Because at that point, I think you would have been home for like 3 or 4 days after sailing had released. And didn't you have a tournament that Saturday? Like the Saturday after you got home? Or you had something on that Saturday?
Yeah, I think I did have a tournament that day, yes.
Yeah, so like you would have gotten home, sailing would have been out for 2 days, 3 days, and then we would record on Sunday. It's not very long. So this actually, it turned out well that we got damn near like 11 days of experiencing this skill from the early game. I would still call myself in the mid game. I don't know what you consider to be. I guess you're in the end game of the skill currently, just with all the content that's available and how you don't have like the dragon parts and all of that kind of stuff. But that comes with time. Like you're doing the end game content. Like you just charted all the seas. You're doing the Gwyneth Glide. So it's a pretty good, well-rounded set of experiences. So do you want to start with XP or like core like training methods?
You were, so Michael at the top of this episode said, I think I have a bit of a structure I want to follow. I was like, okay, cool. What do we got? And he explained it to me. And I was navigating to Fremenic and I think what's the top of your structure that you wanna dive into?
So you're
What's
so
on
you're
the top
saying
of
you weren't
your
paying
mind,
attention.
King? I was mostly paying attention, but part of it, no, because we also just released a video teaser for this year's bingo event. This year, the bingo is Skill Tree Bingo 2, the gardening. No, not the gardening. Skill Tree Bingo 2, divine progression. Maybe Skill Tree Bingo 2, ascend further. We don't know. We don't know the
Skill
name.
harder.
So yeah, we're we're figuring it out. But I released a video about the bingo board. As you guys have probably seen by now, the eclectic approach to the board, like I said, is pretty accurate. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the various boards. Everyone but Michael is having fun with the boards, but that's what you get for sitting out, dog. I don't know what to tell you.
I think
Um,
you're projecting a little bit, and maybe I'm playing into it too much because I'm having fun with it. I got to design a little bit. The thing that is stressing me out is not taking it seriously enough. And I think I feel like you're
me
just pushing
not
my
taking
buttons.
bingo seriously enough? Huh?
Well, okay. It would be like it would be like if suddenly you were like, "Hey guys, I'm not going to be part of the planning, but if you want me to plan a little bit, I will." But then you're still seeing everything get planned, and then it's feeling like your brainchild, your baby is not being handled with the utmost of care because since 2021, I think, our second bingo or third bingo, I've been designing the boards, and this will be what, our 10th or 11th bingo? I think our
12.
10th, 12th. And if you don't count all the other events that I may have designed stuff for, that's a lot. It's a lot of hours put into designing the boards and trying to make them recognizable, something that I would be proud of. And right now, there's talk of like doing things in Microsoft Paint.
There's not talk, there's confirmation of doing
Oh
it in
gosh.
Microsoft Paint.
Okay. Well, there's confirmation that you're not getting the quality in all of the aspects of the board is like you would have. Tiki's very proud of his designs, by the way. He says this.
I could go on a super woke rant about art.
Oh my gosh.
And the
I'm
idea
not
of the
saying it's
beauty being
but,
in the eye of the beholder
like
and
it's
Michael being so overly critical, but I don't think I will. I don't think I need to.
you just did. That's all that was enough. Was enough of a rant. And to that I say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But if somebody thinks something is ugly, that doesn't mean that they're wrong because beauty is in the eye of the beholder, you know? That's just like, I don't know. I'm not wrong. You're not wrong. It's just bad. But it's not bad. It's just not well. I'm going in circles. Anyway, the board is getting designed not by me entirely, and I think it's fun. Tiki mentioned it, and he said that it's like it feels special because this board is almost signifying a new era for TNL bingos because it's not primarily being planned by Oxie and I. It's a dedicated like event planners team, and Tiki's there just as involved as he has been. And there's people who we've never planned major events with doing this, and they all get to kind of contribute their creative liberties and their artistic touch and their what they want to bring to the bingo. They get to design a board to do that, and so it is a cool kind of signifying moment for everybody. So I am excited about that. But enough about bingo. We're here to talk about sailing. And the question was like, what is the structure? Basically, I want to talk about like the core training methods, the core aspects of the skill. When I'm thinking of core aspects, it's like you have ship design and facility upgrading. Those aren't necessarily like training methods. Those are just things that enable the skill. So, that's a different category. And then there's the miscellaneous things like, the different designs of all the new items, clothing, all that kind of stuff. And obviously like, there's going to be spoilers. There was a lot of mystery surrounding sailing. And so we're not going to like try and hold back too much when it comes to explaining different methods, ways to find things, our thoughts on the different metas and things like that. So if you are somebody and you're listening and you kind of like to go into things with no guides and no help, and if you were told how to find a certain item right off the bat, that would just like ruin your day, I would say skip this portion or maybe even this episode altogether. So I just wanted to give you guys that just in case. But we'll start with XP and kind of go over the different, like the different core training methods that you have, which in my mind are port tasks, and that includes like bounties and stuff, Barracuda trials, all three of those, shipwreck salvaging, and then there's the little like asterisk to this is there are things that are training methods, but they don't necessarily involve a specific thing like trimming your sails, or we just talked about the crystal extractor. I think those might be the only two miscellaneous things that I can think of. Oh, and then charting the seas. Sorry, that's the fourth one, charting the seas. So we can start with the port tasks. That's a majority of what you do. Like the early game, the first 4 to 5 hours consist of mainly port tasks. And to me, I've heard a lot of mixed feelings when it comes to the 1 to 30 grind. And I think I want to go on record and say, I think it's fine. Most of the time, when you look back at those times that you really had like a major slog, and then you're out of it, you're on the other side, you like, in this case, you're stuck with port tasks from like 1 to 30. Nothing else really can get you that XP. Yeah, you can do some charting, but you know, there's other than charting, port tasks, you have quests. That's about it. So the main thing that you're going to do to train the skills is port tasks. And to me, after you get Barracuda trials, you kind of forget the pain of the port tasks because I don't know, 1 to 30 for me on both accounts took like maybe 3 to 5 hours. Maybe that's long, maybe it's not. I was kind of just enjoying myself. And then once you hit 30, to go from 30 to like 40 to 45 when you can start upgrading your boat again, dude, that takes like an hour. It's crazy. Because if you're halfway decent at Barracuda trials, I don't know the exact like XP per hour for each tier of like say the temper tantrum, but it's very, very good XP. I mean, you get XP for claiming the crates, you get XP for doing the laps, and then if you do the laps in a certain time, you get a bonus one-time XP. And so the amount of XP that you get from one lap of say the Marlin temper tantrum, that's like equivalent to like a dozen port tasks potentially if they're not very long, and you're not doing long ones at that level anyway. So once you hit 30 and you can start doing the Barracuda trials and you get another boat, like it's all exciting. You're not using this loop obviously for Barracuda trials, but it's exciting, it's new, and the training method is good. But I won't get into Barracuda trials much now because we're still talking about port tasks. But yeah, port tasks, I think the only thing that I dislike about port tasks is you have a way to check what task you're on. But as someone who is more of a visual learner and somebody who's more visual when it comes to like processing information, it was hard for me to figure out like, okay, what port am I going to? What port am I taking this to? Just based on like the little pictures. So you have the little icon on each of the crates. And sometimes I couldn't just wrap my head around like where I'm taking this one to, and I would get lost. So in the beginning, port tasks, they were not as like intuitive as I would like them to be. That's probably my only gripe. If I think of any more, charter ships can fuck off. Those guys, when you're going around the bend and they deliberately turn to ram into your boat and make you stop, that they're just assholes. But yeah, no, I
got quite the kick out of that. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny.
I very much enjoyed that in the first week.
But
very much. I loved it.
The third or fourth time it happens where you're on the other side of the lane and they purposefully turn their boat to like cut you off. I'm like, ooh, there's got to be some sort of like smart intelligence. There's got to be some like pathing that they're deliberately trying to troll people. I can't prove it, but I really think so. I really think so. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the very first 30 levels, that first early game experience? Because I guess that's mainly where everybody starts.
I mean, I think it's in a pretty good spot. It was kind of low XP on day one when you wanted to chart the seas. It was like 100-ish XP bonus for doing all this random charting,
Oh
which
yeah.
people got kind of annoyed at because it was quite a bit of work to do. I loved it. Charting the seas was without question my favorite part of the first day. I think obviously like the camaraderie, playing the early game for the first time. Like I think if I had to pick a true favorite part, it is being on a game where no one knows what the hell is going on for the
Truly.
first time ever in RuneScape. It felt really good and really fun to just not know what was supposed to happen. And I think I had a lot of fun with that. But no, I really enjoyed the charting. I really enjoyed going around the areas that, you know, you've known for so long, right? And you think you know how to navigate, but you don't, because you've never been there before, right?
Yep.
Like you don't know how to navigate around Moosa Point. You don't know just how big and in the way Entrana is, or how big and in the way Crandor is. You're not aware of some of these things, and it's just so fun to interact with all that. I very much love the charting, and then plus they gave you the little XP stimmy after the first like day or two. I loved it. I had so much fun with it that I did not at any point think, "Oh my god, this early game is slow." Didn't care. And doing it on my iron, I still don't think the early game is that slow. It's a
No.
couple of hours. I think the complaints I have heard mostly stem from the idea that like, hey, this takes forever for an early game. This takes like 4 or 5 hours compared to every other skill. Most of the other skills in the game, you get from like 1 to 25, 30, 40, like that with
Yeah.
quests,
Quests. Yep.
right? Like even low level combat, if you're just trying to like train combat naturally, quote unquote, and not do waterfall and fight arena and all those other quests, takes forever. And I really like the progression. I understand how in the first couple of minutes, or the first couple of maybe like the first hour, the DoorDash simulator from Port Sarim to the Pandemonium is annoying. And I will say that in the early game, not really having a good way to get back to
Oh
Pandemonium,
yeah.
because there's not really a good way to get to Port Sarim in the early game. Like, yes, you can Spirit Tree, yes, you can use the Lumbridge teleport on the ring, but like compared to the later game, like after you get the amulet and you can teleport to Port Roberts or Deepfin Point, or you get a port like Relica that's like right by the boot teleport, or
Hmm.
or, you know, what's another good one? Prith isn't
Catherby.
particularly close.
I like
Catherby,
Catherby.
yeah.
And
Catherby's nice.
then
I don't have the Catherby teleport inside my house.
Port Kazard is good too.
Port Kazar doesn't have a house teleport for some reason. For
But
some weird reason, Port Kazar does not have a house teleport.
if you can get there, that's what I've been using for like when I'm doing upgrading, because it's really close to a
Mhm.
bank. So if you're running back and forth trying to figure out what materials you need, or you're doing a big upgrade session, I was
Mhm.
using Kazard a lot. But most of the ports in the later game are like decently close to a bank, that if you just rolled up to any port, it probably would be
Mhm.
fine. I think Pandemonium's one of the more annoying ones. You can manage it, like there's a bank there, but yeah, you're right. Like without having those necessary forms of travel, it was kind of difficult to like. And you're on the slow ass raft, little dinghy. Once you get the skiff, everything changes. But yeah, the little slow dinghy was just, it was fun, right? But it was
Controversial opinion. I don't think you notice how slow the dinghy is until you get to the other boats. Like, I not only do I think you don't notice it, I don't really think it matters. Like, I really don't think, like, we notice it now, right? I got the camphor hulls and the adamant keels and all sorts of shit. Like, I can do all of that, right?
yeah.
So that to me doesn't feel bad to move quickly. But when you're first starting out and you get those like first little gusts of wind, you do kind of feel like you're zooming around
That's true.
the little alleyways there, the little paths through the rocks by the wizard's tower and shit. Like I quite like that. So I don't think that the raft is slow. It's not excessively slow, I guess. Let's put it that way. It doesn't feel excessively slow to the point where you're like, "Oh my god, I don't want to do this anymore."
Yeah.
You
It
know?
it feels more slow. Like it feels slower now that I've gone back to the raft and I haven't
Mhm.
upgraded the raft whatsoever. And so it's still like just the regular haul, the regular sails. And like I needed it for like two things that I needed to chart and I had to pull
Mhm.
it out. But other than that, I did like once I hit 15, I was a skiff man and kind of left it behind. Left my what is it called? I don't actually remember what my other boats names are. One is Rainbow Epoch, one is Bladed Death, and I think it's like Jolly something for my skiff. It's Jolly something. But yeah,
Hmm.
they're really fun names. I like the names for the ship, and apparently you'll have the opportunity to like name your own ship once you get to 99, and you can
Mhm.
custom pick from the list that you get randomized, which I think is fun. But in the grand scheme, are like you've just gone 13 million XP potentially with some of these boats. Like, are you gonna want to change the name? I don't know. Like Bladed Death is going to grow on me for my sloop after God, like hundreds of hours AFK salvaging potentially. It's gonna
Mhm.
be it's gonna be hard to give this one up.
I can see it. I can see it. I have my the Brave Manta for my sloop. I have the Zamarok's Law for my skiff, and then my raft is the Ribbled Epoch, which I learned the day of sailing that ribbled means like sexually explicit. Like here, let me Google it
Oh
for you.
gosh.
Ribbled definition. The definition of ribbled is referring to sexual matters in amusing, coarse, or irreverent ways. So it was a ribbled comment, right? An epoch is a period of time. EPOCH is a period of time. So Ho era is what my raft was called. Ho
Nice.
era.
Nice.
And I love that. I love that my little raft is called Ho era. I'm not getting rid of it. I
As you
found it's been
shouldn't.
helpful to fully upgrade everything.
On the raft?
Fully upgrade everything on all boats. Fully upgrade everything on the raft, fully upgrade everything on your skiff as you go. Obviously, once you get a little bit higher, once you get into like the ironwood, rosewood territory, then okay, maybe it's a little expensive to do that, right? Or, you're an Iron Man and it's hard to find the resources, but I don't see a reason why you shouldn't be upgrading your boats.
That's what I'm trying to think about right now is like I don't see a reason to upgrade your boat after at least the raft. Because once you've charted everything, is there any tight spaces that you need to fit into that like a skiff can't go? I don't
We don't
think
know.
so. For at least for right now, I would say I can't think of anything that at least on the iron. There's a lot of caveats here. On the main, sure, it's just money. Like I don't have to spend 25, 30 minutes making large keel parts because that is just not fun. I don't have to do that. But on the main or yeah, on the main, it's just money. So I'll do it. Oh, I got a camphor seed doing some large salvaging right now. We kind of drifted into that in that realm of conversation, the charting the seas. So I have not charted the entire sea. On my main, I have the two like beginner seas. I think it's Unquiet and Ardent. And once I got to the point where I could just like salvage efficiently with a large salvage and two crewmates, Tiki says, those are oceans, Michael. You're right. I'm so sorry. The seas are the little ones, the oceans are the big ones. The Ardent Ocean, Unquiet Ocean. I stand corrected. Once I got to a place where I could just like AFK salvage, I switched over to my GIM to train. And so I'm basically I did a little bit of jubbly jiving on the iron today, and that was a lot of fun. But I
Mhm.
got full Marlin time to get to basically the point where I could get a sloop. I trained up to what is it, 50? And then yeah, at 50 you get the sloop, but it doesn't actually get good until like 55, 56 when you can start boosting for the max things you can do on your sloop at my level, which is mostly mithril and mahogany. So I have all that, and now I've got two salvaging hooks, two crewmates, and I'm just doing a little bit of AFK salvaging on my iron. But we're talking about charting the seas without having the full experience of charting. I like it as a training method. I think it's really a neat way of going about it. It's really cool that it comes in stages. I think that was probably the most well thought out thing about the whole experience, other than the fact that like you split everything into different oceans and then you get the cool, you get the little XP boosts for doing it. The fact that like you're not just going out level 1 charting everything, like you have your captain's log, so you can do some of those. But to get the crowbar, you go through a silly quest where you make a crowbar to get a crowbar. Amazing.
Iconic.
And then you gotta like drink these disgusting drinks, which I'll get into that. And then the duck, and then one thing I haven't done, which is the weather charting. I'm the level to do it now, but they keep just like building layers on top of layers, and you have the spyglass obviously too. But yeah, it's just like it's not dumping all of the content on you at level 1. Like you can't start doing weather charting until 57. So
you're not missing much, let me tell you.
But it's still relevant even into the mid levels of sailing. Like I would be interested to see if there's like a level 75 charting task thing that you need, and maybe that's like the master quest, and maybe there's an end game quest, like a grandmaster quest related to sailing, that once you're in the 80s or 90s, you go and you chart more of the oceans that we haven't seen yet, maybe up and near the wilderness and in Mauritania and over, I guess. Can you go? You can't go up like in the northwest or northwest, like out near there, right? Yeah, there's a lot that's still locked behind future content releases. So it'd be really cool if they continued to build on those layers and gave us like you're not done charting, because there's more oceans, and now you're doing a level 75 quest that gives you I couldn't even begin to imagine like whatever it is that helps you chart more things. And so maybe you get like a special notepad that you have to like sketch things or write down coordinates of different things, and that's a higher tier charting ability, and that just gives you more XP at the end of the day. So yeah, charting is fun. I will be doing the rest of it. I would need to probably get over. I don't think I can go in the crystal oceans yet, and then there's something about a brazier to be able to go in the colder oceans. I don't have that yet either. So what level do you need to be able to like fully chart everything?
78.
Oh, okay. That's not far off. That's not bad.
Yep, you need 78 to fully chart everything. It's worth it. If you're like, I don't really need it. If you're listening out there at home, charting doesn't really do anything for me. It's worth it because honestly, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun now that the damn weather charting is on the wiki. I'll say that. The first day trying to figure out that weather charting, those first 24 hours, whatever it was, that was tough. I think I got to 51 on the first day and then 57 very shortly after that. It was tough because it's not super intuitive. Like it doesn't, in my opinion, I don't think it makes a bunch of sense. Like it makes sense, I guess. I just didn't love it.
Yeah. It's not intuitive, I guess.
That's how I would. Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't feel it's particularly intuitive, but is what it is. It's on the wiki now. It's easy. Same thing with the mermaid people. It's on the wiki.
Yeah.
The mermaids are difficult because my question is, how am I supposed to figure out what kind of puzzle it is?
Yeah.
Like if I'm dumb, how am I supposed to figure out what kind of puzzle I'm looking at?
Yeah. My thoughts exactly.
I can be pretty dumb sometimes. So I struggle with that a little bit, but otherwise the charting experiences have been so much fun. Going around the ocean, seeing the little Easter eggs, getting the metric fuckload of XP you get, by the way.
Yeah.
People don't like the DoorDash simulator when you start. Chart the seas. I promise you, chart the seas. It is such good XP and it's fun. There are some things like they do a really good job with charting of making it aspirational, right? I remember V's belt I just finished V's Belt today. It's an area up by the Fremennik Isles where you can complete 5 of the 6 tasks by just existing, right? And just doing things in the basic, not dangerous water. And there's one task that you need the brazier for. And boy, is it irritating to being missing out on just 25,000 XP. Like, I need that. I need to get to the Gwyneth Glide, but nope, you can't. You have to wait till 78. I really like the charting. I am kind of sad that the charting is now done for me because I have completed the charting on the main account, and until the other oceans are released, I won't be able to do any more of it on the main. But that's what the Iron Man is for, I guess. And I'll just keep on charting away on that account. Hopefully get the C's done on both of the accounts I have someday. But yeah, I've really enjoyed the charting. It's been one of my favorite parts. I think if you want a break from charting, bounty port tasks, I think, are more enjoyable than the delivery ones. Though I will say, I will give Jagex credit. When I got my first ever task to go from Tortuga, the Great Conch, all the way over to Civitas Illifortis, that was a real cool journey.
Oh, nice.
The first time I had to make it all the way over for those port tasks, going to Civitas, it was fun because I didn't know what the fetid waters actually did. I had put the inoculator on my boat and I was like, okay, I'm protected. I can go in the Zalra swamp water now. This is cool. But I didn't know what the green pools did. Trust me, I would later find out in the Jive what they did. But I didn't know if they would hurt me. And I very quickly found out that without the right keel, the rapids will hurt you. They'll do 15 damage a tick. I mean, you only got a boat with 80 HP. You don't really get much health to spare. I think I had 7 hit points navigating the Jubbly Jive course on day 1 or whatever it was. Just 7 hit, just very slowly creeping around all of the edges, not touching any of the green, not touching any of the rapids. Right. Then when I finally made it out to the other side, I was like, I have to hug the coastline until I literally have to cross the ocean, because obviously when you pop out of that area, you can't touch the crystal flecked waters. You'll know you'll die in there, but you got to kind of gun it across the Minotaur Isle so you don't run into any of the bull sharks or any of the krakens or anything like that. So I had a really cool time, and I remember being in VC with people. And I was like, guys, I'm finally going to do something that I have wanted to do since March of whenever it was. Was it 2024, I think? 24, maybe?
It was March of this year. At the beta?
No, it was March of 2024, sailing into Civitas Illifortis.
Oh.
Then the little fucking dry dock they have there, the dock they have, that is just, you can tell they built it with sailing in mind. The Fortis Kothon or whatever it is, sailing into there for the first time, getting off the boat and hearing prospering future or whatever. Oh, it was so cool. It was a very cool experience to do some port tasks. And the farther the distance and the more cargo, the more XP it is. So it's probably not super efficient XP per hour, but if you want a very laid back way to train sailing, especially pre 55, take transcontinental shipment tasks. Take Civitas to Unka, the Ruins of Unka. Take Ruins of Unka to Civitas Illifortis, or take Alderin to fucking Catherby. Just go around the world, especially when you have the things that protect you, the higher level keels, so you can hit the rapids and you can chart along the way, which is fun. So I really enjoyed the early game part of sailing. The 1 to 50 grind, I had quite a bit of fun with it. The exploration, the port tasks, the sea charting, absolute 10 out of 10, 100%.
I would give it an 8 or 9 out of 10. The only reason charting is not a 10 out of 10 for me is because of the crates. I think the novelty wore off after the second one of not knowing what's going to happen. Am I going to get teleported off my boat? Am I going to get jump scared by a troll? Am I going to turn into a banana? Yes, some of them are cute. Some of them are fun. There was one where your screen literally goes black for 2 minutes. It's crazy.
That one pissed me off because it actually killed me.
No.
I found that one. No, I found that one. I had boosted to get my adamant keel or adamant helm or whatever it was to get in the kelp waters or whatever they were, right?
Yeah.
I boosted to get into the kelp waters, and when I did, I got this crate, and it was like the crate of like peaceful slumber, the drink of peaceful slumber, whatever the
Yeah.
hell that damn drink is called, right?
Yeah.
And I sipped it, and my screen went black. But because I have had multiple crew members on my boat, I had Adventure Ada driving. Adventure Ava, Ada was that her name?
Ada.
I had Ada driving the damn boat. So, if you guys don't know or are unaware for some reason at this point, when you interact with something in the game, be it a crate or a charting task, the default setting is for your boat to stop moving. But you can get right back on the boat. There's really nothing stopping you from getting right back on the boat. So that's what I did. I picked up the crate and I said, all right, let's keep on stepping. We keep going forward. I didn't know where I was relative to the sun-baked sea in that area. So I popped the potion of darkness, or whatever it was, and I couldn't see anything. But I had already started moving. So my boat was just making a beeline into the dangerous water. And the dialogue box got interrupted by my character, like the damage noises, like, ew, ew,
Oh
ew, as like my
no.
boat was getting hit. And I'm like, dude, my boat's getting fucked up. What is happening? Finally, it faded away after the minute timer or whatever. My
Yeah.
sloop had 4 HP and I was in the fucking center of the dangerous zone or whatever
Oh
it was. Or maybe
no.
it was the dangerous kelp, whatever I was in. Whatever zone I was in, I couldn't be in. I
Oh.
think it was I went into the kelp and I couldn't do it because I didn't have the helm at the time. Right? I got fucked up. The world wasn't black anymore. You know, the world faded back into existence, and then I like died 3 ticks later. I was like, oh shit.
Damn, dude.
That's cool. So that one did annoy me a little bit, but I gotta level with you. I think the novelty's been great. I've really enjoyed spinning the chamber with some of these, you know?
I guess I just get annoyed. Yes, you could I could see where you're coming from with like, okay, am I gonna die? Well, so be it. What am I, poor? And then there's me like stressing out if I'm gonna get poisoned, and then I think it boils down to I don't like losing stuff in my cargo when the boat sinks, like,
Mhm.
or if you have to teleport the boat away, you just lose everything in your cargo. And it's very punishing when you want to be able to keep things in your cargo, such as like scavenging stuff you haven't done, or boat food. That seems to be the most reasonable place that I can think to keep it. It doesn't it doesn't feel good to just like have to give that up. And on the iron, it hits a bit different because on the main, I'm like, yeah, I can just buy that again. Doesn't it doesn't affect me. It's fine. But on the iron, I don't want to sit here and make boat food. So I've just been doing like the Barracuda salvages to get it.
Mhm.
So yeah, I feel like I have a limited number and then losing it all because of a crate, a silly crate. Now, what I could do and what I probably will end up doing on some of the other oceans is just saving up a handful of them, not drinking them, and then like I'm just gonna sit at a port with an empty, empty cargo hold, maybe some food, a weapon, and like prepare for the worst. I'm not halfway
Mhm.
across the world and it took me 30 minutes to get there, and I'm gonna be annoyed if I get teleported home. I'm at a port, I'm sitting there, it's all good. That's what I'll probably end up doing. And then I can give charting the seas a 10 out of 10.
I say spin the chamber. I
I don't
did
know, dude.
I did that for some of the end game ones because it's like you are deep in the northern expanses and there is no close port. So some of them, like at this point, I was aware of like which ones I had to look out for.
Mm.
So I just kept them all. I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll do it eventually. I went back to Relica and just spammed like 5 of them, right? But I don't know. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, so charting, good. If you're out there listening, you haven't really started doing sailing, and you don't want to mess with like getting on the wiki and you don't care about figuring things out, the sailing plugin that they have by LL Lemon Duck, I think their name is Lemon Duck. I found out Lemon Duck also made like the TOA plugin, several other really good plugins that came out fairly quickly from the content. They had this up like day 2. up on the party hub, or up on the plugin hub. And it covers a lot of things, and it's getting updated all the time. So the sailing plugin will have a lot of resources for charting the seas, and it won't give you the locations per se, but it'll mark them on the screen with like different icons. And one thing it really does nicely is it gives you the answers to the mermaids, because I'm with Oxie on that one. Like, what the hell? Not like, even if I tried to make it make sense, I was over it after the first one, because
I got one right. I got the teak plank one correct. I did guess one correctly. That's it though.
Nice. Yeah, the first one I tried, it was talking about like the order of things that you have, and like it was a 1 onion, 1 woad leaf, 3 of this, 3 tomatoes. It was like it wanted you to find the items to make certain dye colors, but I thought it was like a sequence answer, and so I was trying to find a pattern rather than item association. And yeah, it was just a little annoying. So they have the answers on screen, which is really nice. You don't have to cut over to the wiki as much for anything that has to do with charting. So after charting, so you start the game doing support tasks, you throw in a little charting. Next up comes Barracuda trials. Once you hit level 30, oh my goodness. As far as things that exceeded my expectations, Barracuda trials are so much fun. I was very worried that it was going to be Hallowed Sea Polker, where you're just going to get punished and it's going to be really click intensive, and it's not. It is, but it's not. I would say it's like the closest relative it has is the Sepulcher in terms of training methods, but it's its own thing. Like, to me, it doesn't feel like the Sepulcher. It feels like a relay race. Whereas in the Sepulcher, you're doing an obstacle course kind of thing. You know, you're running an obstacle course. This is like a relay race. And I quite like it as a training method. Tiki says it's worse than the Sepulcher. I mean, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, Tiki. So
then you got one hell of an eye, I'll tell you that.
You like the Barracuda trials? Are you? Sorry,
first of all, I love the Barracuda trials, but to say that they are easier than Sepulcher, I think is a farce. I think that's coming from someone who hasn't done the difficult trials or the difficult Sepulcher floors. I don't think I have crashed out harder at this game in a long time than trying to get the Marlin time on the Jive. I think Storm Temper, wonderful. The Temper Tantrum, beautiful. Quintessentially old school, somebody described it. You're delivering rum, you're around a pirate bay. It makes sense. The clicking makes sense. There's no weird like lag delays or anything like that. The Marlin time is remarkable. It's so much fun to do. Plus, I love that you just like get the Marlin time XP reward without having to perfectly execute everything the entire time. It's great. Spectacular content for the Temper Tantrum. The minute you get to the Jubbly Jive, it's a different video game. Michael kept looking at me and being like, why do you keep resetting? Why are you resetting? You're wasting time. You're wasting experience. All you did was miss one crate. For all my Jive fans out there, all you did was miss that one crate. That's like kind of in between, like in the fetid pools, in between the light blue and the orange one, and your way back through on the second lap. That's all you did. All you did was miss that one. Why did you restart? And it's because it just demands perfection, right? You missed the crate, you have to restart the entire course. I was losing my mind. And then I finally got it. And I remember that I'm the greatest RuneScape player that's ever lived, right? And we were good to go. It's totally fine. I think the Jive gets a little repetitive after a while. I'm not the biggest fan of running the Jive from like 55 to 72, but hear me out. I don't love running the Jive. However, the mid 50s blues is in full effect in sailing, and that's a good thing. Because training from 55 to 72 at the Jubbly Jive, boring as shit. But wow, you nailed it, Jagex. You even managed to nail the mid 50s blues with the new skill. You guys did great. You know, you guys did absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
with that. The Gwyneth Glide, we went from like, it's the trope of like steal bread from a shop to kill God, from Temper Tantrum to Gwyneth Glide.
Before you go on to the glide, let me give you my retort on the jive, because I've not made it to the glide yet. So that's going to be all you, baby girl. I did a fair bit of the jive today. I get it, but I still think you're a little bitch who's way too stubborn for your own good.
Did you get Marlin time?
Not yet, but the fact that you kept resetting is an interesting way of training. I'll say that much.
Listen, none of the runs mattered until I got Marlin time.
That's
not a single one.
That I think there's cause and correlation here to the amount of crash out. To you can correlate that to the training method that you adopted there with, you're 3 seconds from the end and you're not going to get the time, so then you just reset it. That's all. That's you, and I'm glad you're done now. You did it. Great job. But me, I'm taking more relaxed approach when it comes to each of the different courses. First one, went in blind, tried to figure it out. That's fine. Like the Temper Tantrum, you can do that.
Figuring out the Temper Tantrum blind was a blast.
Yes, I will say
the Temper Tantrum blind was
an
absolute hoot.
Do it blind all 3 rounds, and you'll have a great time. It's not that hard. I am using the tile packs from the wiki for the Jubbly, and I'll probably end up using them for the glide or whatever it is, because I've seen a lot of people doing that. They're just like, the amount of stuff that you have to remember past, I would say past like the swordfish time for the Jubbly, you need I would say you need the tile packs, but I'm learning it with the tile packs. And yeah, there are some times that I reset. Like you get mad that you missed a crate and it's going to take you a whole minute just to turn around and get it. I get it, reset. But for most of the runs that I've been doing, and it's like probably up 15 to 20 at this point total, for most of the runs, I'm just finishing it out, circling around to get the crate, sure, but like 6 minutes is like not that long to get, what is it, 6.2 KXP or something, not counting all of the picking up all the crates. So if you're out there listening and you're like, Oxie, I don't understand y'all. I just finished the course out, unless so my point of no return was if I've gotten the toads, I'm just going to see it through. Like if I haven't gotten to the point where I've gone around that first bin on the Marlin time and I'm picking up those.
Oh, so you did get the shark time then?
Yes. I got the shark time. So I'm working on the Jubbly, or I'm working on the Marlin time, and I'm close. Like my PB, you have to get the Marlin time for, it's 5 minutes and 21 seconds. I think my PB is like 5 minutes, 27, 28 seconds. So I'm not far off. And literally, I don't think it's coming down to like upgrades, because I won't have any better upgrades until the 60s. And that's going to be like, I don't know what the next sale would make me faster. And that's going to be,
I think it's the haul that makes you faster, not the sale.
Well, at any rate, if it's the sale or the haul, they're basically the same level. 68 is going to be the camp for mast, and then 67 is the camp for haul. So I'm not that far out. Like I'm 62. Those can be done in 3 or 4 levels with a boost. It'll be great. But until then, I plan to get the Marlin time before I reach 65, 67, 66, whatever the boost level is, because I think I can do it. There are so many things that I can shave off 6 or 7 seconds easily. When the fact that like when I was doing the Marlin time, my PB was 6 minutes and like 15 seconds. And then I started using tile markers, and I figured out the route, and I cut that down to like 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Like just basic knowledge and like practicing the pathing and knowing where to click, when to click. I shaved off the whole entire minute. So I'm like, let's got to fine tune this a little bit, and we're good to go on the Marlin time. What level did you say with the glide was? It was 670 something?
72.
72. Okay,
the
so
old Gwyneth Glide is at 72.
Not too far off from the Gwyneth Glide. But overall, it exceeds my expectations. Barracuda trials are so much fun, and I'm hoping I'm really hoping that in the future we get. I don't know if they would give us anything lower than 30. I doubt it. Like they're not gonna mess up with the early game that much. But I would love to see more options sprinkled in. Just like they've been able to expand on like agility courses and rooftop courses and different agility training methods. I hope to see way more expansion to like the Barracuda trials and things that offers in the future. And what would be really cool is if they had they started working like Barracuda trials in with combat, where you get crates, you get supplies, you have to do all these turns, and it's like an obstacle course, or it's like it's like a relay race, right? But they add combat into it, or they add a boss encounter at the end, and maybe even encounter like you do some sort of Barracuda trial in the raid, because I'm really hoping Raids 4 is loosely loosely sailing themed. It doesn't have to be fully sailing themed, but I would be happy with like loosely sailing themed and some sort of Barracuda trial, or the fact that maybe you have to like for the first time to get to the raid, you have to dock on a certain island that requires a decent sailing level or something like that. So
I imagine they will. Yeah, I think we talked about on day of release with the folks I was in VC with that now that we've seen the Barracuda trials, it was either day of release or a little bit after. Now that we've seen the Barracuda trials, that idea for the dinosaur raid I talked about a million years
yeah,
ago up by
yeah,
Fossil Island, where you sail your boat, instead of just sailing from island to island to fight the different dinosaurs, you have to go through these Barracuda-esque paths. Like you have to take your boat through these different and increasingly more difficult paths in a very theater of blood style. Like there's no puzzles. Like the puzzle room is the Barracuda trial,
yeah.
if that makes sense. The little mini trials in between every one. And when you get off the boat, then you fight the boss room for that raid. Maybe it's like a 4 or 5 room raid where you have to navigate a little bit. It's not going to take super long, maybe like 20 minutes average for completion times. I think that would be super cool to do. I'd be very excited to see that enter the game when it comes to the sailing themed raid that they hopefully add.
We're gonna find
Or
out
the
about that
sailing,
soon, dude. Like
we probably will. The Winter Summit's got to be close.
I'm very excited.
Surely the Winter Summit's got to be close, right?
At least
Especially
at
with
this
all this
point,
hype from sailing.
maybe in January, because they did it in January one year, and I'm like, that's weird. But yeah, January's technically still winter.
I do remember that. Yeah, because that was the I do remember the January summit. Yes, I do remember that one very vividly. But no, the Barracuda trials, the fact that I want them integrated into a raid in some degree as like the puzzle room, let's not go crazy here. I don't necessarily think that like trying to be tick perfect in combat while trying to do the Gwyneth Glide is something that sounds like fun. But the idea that this is the replacement for the puzzle room makes it way more fun and dynamic.
Yeah.
Because like I just want you guys to picture, like, would you prefer to do the Gwyneth Glide or the original TOA monkey? Like just think that one over for me and let me know what you think. The original unadjusted TOA monkey room, or like the shark Gwyneth Glide, or even the swordfish Gwyneth Glide, right? Like something with a little bit of challenge, but nothing that's gonna necessarily make you want to slam your head into a wall. Speaking of slamming my head into a wall, boy howdy, the Gwyneth Glide was a different animal. The Gwyneth Glide
Nice transition.
demands perfection in the Jubbly or in the Barracuda trials. Brian M says going from Temper to Jubbly is like going from Cooking Mama to Dark Souls 3, and holy shit, I've not seen a more accurate comparison. That is exactly what that feels like.
It takes a lot more brain power. It really does.
It does take a lot more brain power.
I give it up to the folks who did it day one, because I'm doing it 2 weeks later with plugins that potentially are. I don't know if each nest that you had to highlight or that you had to throw was highlighted day one. I don't think it was, but the plugin that I'm using, I think
for me,
might be the salvage or the sailing plugin. It highlights the different outcroppings that you have to throw at and what color they are and like what order you throw them into. So I could not wrap my brain around what this meant and which one do I have to throw now. Shout out to Francine for sitting with me and like literally taking me through each of the routes the first time and like throw here, boost here. I'm like, thank you. You're queen. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I was struggling with the jive, but the glide demands absolute perfection. Like I said, steal from the shopkeeper with the temper tantrum, and then kill God with the Marlin Gwyneth glide. I did about 65 or 70 total runs or resets, depending, without tiles, without the plugin. And I think my best time was like 6:15. And I was just losing my mind. I'm like, I'm absolutely losing my shit. And then Zeno, shout out my boy Zeno, sent a video that showed like the ideal route, like the Red Eye Jedi path. And the person in the video marked like 550 tiles to show the path. So I imported all of those tiles and was like, okay, this is helping. And then still was not getting it. And finally broke like the sad little bitch I am, and downloaded the sailing plugin and turned on the boxes for the Barracuda trials.
Yeah.
And it was substantially helpful for the Marlin time.
Yeah.
Because some of the hitboxes on that bitch are wonky and they're weird. But I mean, it worked. I got the time.
Yeah. If that's all it took, that's not a bad
still
compromise.
took me a shitload of resets. I'm not gonna. It wasn't like it was an instant thing. It still took me a shitload of resets. And before you say anything, when you get to what you'll see in a few levels when you get to the Gwyneth glide, if you miss a crate, particularly on the inside part, there's no going back, because you have to basically like redo the entire course, and like one lap start to finish is like 8 minutes long. Not 8 minutes. That's an over exaggeration, but still, if you miss a lap, you pretty much have to go through the entire thing again until you have like everything memorized.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel great.
Is there any way not to turn around? Because I can agree, like in the Jubilee, there's been times where I've missed a crate and to do a U-turn would just send me into like the green ick. But like, can you go back during another lap and do it?
So for some of them you can, but on the ones on the inside, you're going to run into the issue of you've gone through a portal, right? You go through a bunch of portals in the Gwyneth glide, and that's how you kind of like seal your victory, is you activate all 8 portals or all 3 portals or all 5 portals, depending on what course you're doing, right? What course difficulty. While you're doing that, once you go through the portals on the interior, you don't go back to that area.
Oh.
So if you miss one on the inside, like let's say you miss one on like the second portal, the green portal, when you first come through, and you got to hit that really hard right curve afterwards so you don't run anything, you don't go back to that area. So you have to then loop all the way back around to the start, and then loop all the way back around through that other portal and get that other crate. So it's like, while yes, like you can go back through, on the outside it works a little bit better. It's a little bit more humble on the outside, because it's not as like there's feasibility for you to make those big like curves like you do on the Jubilee Jive. But on the inside you can curve, but once you go through a portal, that's the game. That's the ball game right there. You go through a portal, it's game over. So many a crash out were had by my friends and I trying to get the Marlin time at the Gwyneth glide. But as you guys know, my kind of philosophy with things in RuneScape at this point in my RuneScape career, if it makes me want to throw my monitor against a wall, probably some good content. I've been playing this game for a long time. If I find it to be a legitimate challenge that makes me crash out like I did, it's probably pretty well designed. Not to say that I'm the end all be all, but when people put effort into content and they make it difficult, it makes you put effort into it. And when you have to put effort into it, it makes you emotionally invested in it. Therefore, you like it a little bit more. And that doesn't happen if the content is not well thought out and not well balanced, right? As someone who has, and Michael has as well, made plenty of events in a Discord that have gone not as well as we wanted them to, because we didn't put enough time and effort into balancing them. It does matter when you're putting that extra bit of work in. So I think Jagex has absolutely killed it with their Barracuda trials. It's good. The Gwyneth glide is real good, and so are all of Barracuda trials. Big fan.
I think of the core XP gaining methods, I quite like. I quite like the Barracuda trials. I haven't done enough salvaging for like a true opinion just yet. I think salvaging has its merit, obviously. Like I think at the late game in salvaging, I saw a video. It was solo mission. He's doing nearly end game salvaging with like dragon stuff, and he was getting like 230k salvaging or like sailing XP AFK. So if you can get into probably the 80s or 90s and sit your ass down at a salvage and get over 200k XP, like pretty much AFK, I think that is beautiful. Now, it could be patched at this point. I mean, we're gonna find out about XP and stuff. We find out actually, I think yesterday that blog came out. So I don't want to harp on XP per hour too much when it comes to like how much it affects me liking it, because it's all subject to change. Like everything at this point we're still kind of in a beta mindset when it comes to more of the things that we didn't get a chance to do in the beta. End game salvaging, Barracuda trials, all that kind of stuff. They could be adjusting this stuff for like the next couple of years just to make sure it's fine tuned with all the. Why the face?
Damn, I really hope not. Damn,
bro. Do you
really
realize
hope not.
Like how long they've been trying to fine tune different methods? Forestry took forever. Like it's not going to be like, when I say that, I'm not saying that they're going to constantly every single week for the next 2 years be like making changes, but like say that something within the core training method, the core XP method comes out with newer content that could have them shift XP around it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, nothing is set in stone until it's set in stone, and we're way too early to be like, yeah, salvaging is going to be AFK forever. I mean, take shooting stars as a pretty big example of AFK. Like it went from pretty disgusting XP rates that no one wanted to do, and if you did it, it was in secret, to like shooting stars are the most AFK thing you can pretty much do in this game. I mean, salvaging probably takes one of those top slots at this point now, but in terms of methods that people appreciate, shooting stars changed a couple of years after its release, and it got better. So I don't know.
I get that. I think my counterpoint to that is we've had years of these little skill faux pas that have made it so much easier for them to release sailing without these kinds of issues, if that makes sense. Like I think part of the reason why some of the methods that you're talking about got patched or got nerfed is because they broke something in some way. Like old shooting stars, if I remember correctly, didn't like work that well, or they I remember they kept crashing worlds. That's for damn sure. They crashed the shit out of the worlds for a while.
Yeah, because everybody would just hop, and
everyone
you would be there for like 2
would
seconds and eat
dogpile the servers.
Yeah,
and yeah, like they weren't tuned very well. But over time, they tuned them because they were broken. Salvaging salvaging is a gathering skill, right? Salvaging is wood cutting. Salvaging is mining at a motherlode mine type thing or a bone shard mine. Salvaging is just like regular straight up fishing. That is what the salvaging bit is. Yeah. And I think they know how that works well enough, right? I could see some arguments that like maybe with the crystal extractor, it's a little too fast and it's a little too AFK. I'll concede that with the crystal extractor, but I think it's balanced well enough where like when you have a crewmate using the facilities, you get like half XP or 2/3 XP or something like that. Either way, I think it's well tuned so far, and I'm not just saying that because I'm in the 80s. I think it's like it's well enough. I haven't flown through the levels like I thought I would.
Oh, same. Damn, dude. Like looking back at our predictions episode saying, yeah, we'll be like in the 70s day one. Like 1,000,000 XP is not too hard. And I mean, the expectation that people were going to get 99 sailing quickly, we were right. We were right about that. But the overall like early game day one, I mean, you were in the maybe 30s or 40s or 50s day one.
I ended at 51 on the first day.
Okay.
And I call it copium. I do contend I could have gone a little bit further had I actually trained the skill the quick way. Like, well, you'll hear from him here soon, but Nuggy got 99 sailing recently. And he did it by not doing like any of the quests. He just did the trials. Like he got 99, then completed Troubled Tortugans.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? So if you wanted to do it the fast way, I really think 1,000,000 XP on the first day absolutely would have been possible. But man, am I happy that is not the route I went.
Yeah.
I am very happy I took the fuck it, we'll figure it out. We'll get there when we get there route for sailing, because I just had way more fun doing that. Way more fun doing that than I would have trying to rush and get a bunch of XP to prove a point on the show. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm sure it is possible to get over 1,000,000 XP a day. Shit, with the charting tasks alone, I'm already at 450K today, and I've barely done anything. I haven't done any trials. I haven't done anything. So
nice.
I think it's possible. But yeah, overall, enjoy salvaging. I'm hoping it doesn't get tweaked too much. I'm hoping they really don't touch it too much. Crystal extractor, sure. Nerf that, maybe, if you have to. But I like where salvaging's at. The last activity that we haven't really talked about is good old trawling. Have you been a trawling?
Oh, I forgot about trawling. I mean, that's more of a fishing. I've heard that the
You get sailing
sailing
XP from
XP
it.
is not.
It's not good.
It's not
sailing
good.
XP, but you get sailing XP for it.
No, I've not done any trawling. I don't even think I have the level to make a trawling net on any of my boats yet.
Yeah.
I heard from a little birdie named Oxie that he actually likes trawling.
I do. I enjoy it. I think it's fun. It is a very active way to train. And I like it because you can store the fish you get in your cargo hold. So you can, like, if you spend the money to create a trawler ship, if you create the Rosewood Dragon everything trawler ship, and you take the time to invest in it, you can probably make some decent money. I think it's dynamic enough where it feels fine. You know, again, it's a gathering method. It's a gathering skill. It's not going to make you think like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. We've got all this emergent gameplay. It's fishing, but you're moving. You know, like that's my boat just sank because of these tiger sharks. I forgot I don't have camphor on the Iron Man. But
sharks are bitches, dude.
I think trawling has been fun. You want to talk about aspirational content as well? I think trawling has been great because I, for one, have not been able to do it because I boosted for the trawling nets, but you have to be a certain sailing level in order to use the goddamn facilities on your boat. So I boosted for the trawling net, couldn't use the chum spreader, was so excited to do it. Couldn't use the chum station on the boat. Didn't know what the hell I was actually supposed to be doing with the offcuts. Caught a couple fish and then died because of that fucking potion of darkness killed me. So,
damn, dude.
You know, but now that I have 80 something sailing, 81, 82, I think what level do you need for, is it 84 for the I think you need 84.
Yeah, 84 for the cotton trawling net.
Yep, that's how you get the marlin and the halibut. That's the money. Marlin and the halibut is the money.
Is it good right now? Obviously it's good right now, but I haven't looked at
I
any
would
of the
imagine
stats.
I would imagine it's good. Like let's look at marlin. Cooked marlin are 4,100. Manta rays are 3,700. It's like it's still money, you know. Halibut though are probably where the best money's at. Halibuts are 3,400 and karambwans are 520.
Shit, dude.
So, yeah. So if you're looking for an expensive combo eat, halibuts are where it's at. And they're cool. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to do more trawling, but I'm not really going to do it until I have a trawling ship. Yeah. I think the Brave Manta is going to be my salvaging ship. and whatever I get from my next sloop will be my trawling ship.
Yeah,
Which
because you can do 5 boats now,
I don't
right?
know. I'm excited for it. Yeah, well, I can do 4 boats.
4
I think I
boats.
don't get my 5th boat until like 91 or something.
Okay.
Yeah, 91's my 5th boat. Which I imagine I'll just save for a combat boat.
Oh,
So
So
yeah.
let's dive into that a little bit because I have not thought about it very much, and I feel like you might have, but you've got 5 different boat facilities, right? Or different boats that you can turn into whatever you want. So you're gonna have a trawling boat. You're gonna have a Barracuda trials boat. That's
Mhm.
2. What are the other 3? You said something about combat. That potentially ship combat if you're gonna do like what? Like the bounty tasks? You wanna make it you
Mhm.
wanna make it really nice, put the cannons on it? Because you don't need cannons on your
Mhm.
trawling boat. I'm just gonna let you know. I feel like that's seems like a waste. But the other boats that you get, do you keep a raft at that point at 91 sailing? And you've charted all the seas. So you said a couple days ago, you have your raft in a bottle, and then you were able to get. Is that still a thing?
I had to take it. I had to take it out of the bottle because I had to use it to chart. In a
Oh,
very fun, not so fun turn of events, I logged out on Sunbleak Isle, which is where you get the ironwood. The ironwood trees are on Sunbleak Isle. And I logged out there, but I had a bunch of shit in my cargo hold of my sloop. And it did the really cool thing where you log out and then it just teleports you to a different port. It teleported me to the last one I was at, which was pest control. And I wasn't about to recall my sloop because I had a bunch of boat food and a bunch of like cargo shit in there. So I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll just go out and get it. And the only boat that I had available was my raft because my skiff was parked. I think my skiff was specifically at Corsair Cove or at Priff because I was doing the trials. I was trying to level
oh,
up with the
yeah,
trials.
yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not taking the skiff. I'll take the raft. I had not upgraded the helm or the hull of my raft enough. I think I still had it maybe at like steel or mithril. And I went into the kelp forgetting that I had
Oh
not
no.
upgraded it and got absolutely fucking shredded live on camera in front of Jaw Dead, aka Jaw Watch Oxie Plank, like a bitch. It was so funny. I went, oh my God, no, and I only had like 20 HP. So I took it out of the boat bottle just to get it smashed. Unfortunately, I thought putting it in the boat bottle meant that it took it out of your like active boat slots. So you could just like keep boats in your bank.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to be true, which is kind of
Oh,
disappointing. But I mean, the idea that you can carry it from place to place, I guess, is not too bad. You
yeah.
kind of really, you can't not do a ship in the bottle. So, you know, I'm not going to complain too much about it.
So in that case, then you have 5 boats. I would imagine the meta would be like 2 skiffs, 2 sloops, potentially 3 sloops, 1 skiff. I just don't know. I mean, if you have to
I
keep the
mean,
raft,
I'm not
you
getting
have
rid of the
4.
Ribbled Epoch until they find a place for us to basically like store boats like pets, where we
Yeah,
can store
okay.
them
Like your
like
home
at a
port.
player owned shipyard. Yeah,
Yeah,
like a
shipyard.
shipyard or something where I can just store these things without having to worry about them getting fully deleted.
Mm.
I think that would be cool.
You save all the upgrades basically.
Exactly. But until that time, though, I am going to keep the Ribbled Epoch. I'm going to keep the Zamorak's Law. I'm going to keep the Brave Manta. And I'm going to probably buy 2 more sloops. I've got 1 for salvaging. I'm going to get 1 for trawling. That's my goal with my bingo winnings, to buy a really, really nice decked out sloop.
Man's confident.
That is Tiki, or no, Francine just posted a picture of a boat that looks pretty
Ooh.
cool with the salvage, all dragon everything, 2 dragon cannons. Them bitches got to be expensive, them dragon cannons.
Wow.
But yeah,
And it's
it's
they have the paint on there too. Yeah, I watched
yeah,
I watched
pretty
Solo
cool.
Mission's video today. He titled it "I have 99 sailing," and I'm like, okay, fine. I've put off a lot of like the sailing videos until recently. And I watched his video, and dude spent like almost probably like a billion GP upgrading his last sloop for everything because like one dragon nail was I think like a mil, and you need 400 or something.
Yeah, the dragon nails were absurdly expensive. They were like 100K a piece or something like that. and it was like 350 mil to upgrade your boat.
Yeah.
So I think those prices have since dropped, thankfully,
Yeah.
but it is still kind of cool that it was that much for a little while.
Yeah. It shows that at some point there was a lot of status involved with the bigger. I mean, there still is. Don't get me wrong. But as time goes on and more resources come in the game, you're gonna see it's gonna be red boats everywhere, and it won't be as cool. But right now, it's like, wow, that's like a Ferrari or a really nice car that you don't see very often. And I'm over here on my 93 Honda Civic or something. Just got it.
I get it.
Got it off the lot.
I think it'll always be a bit of a status symbol. I think it'll be more of a status symbol once they add something that is genuinely difficult to get. Not difficult because of rarity or difficult because of price. Difficult, like there are some things that are difficult because of price. Like look at Third Age, look at the Crystal Crown. I mean, like a Champion's Cape sale or like a Zuck Helm sale or something. Like something to show off a little bit of status and to actually be flexing on these boats and hoes. I think that will be when when you want to spend the money to make your flex boat or the thing you're flexing on your boat, your sail, your flag, whatever, look cool. And you can't have the Zuck Helm sail or the Zuck Helm flag with the oak hull. It's got to be the rosewood hull. It's got to be the dragon keel. You got to have 2 dragon cannons on that bitch. Because I'm pretty sure dragon cannons are expensive as hell. Dragon cannon barrels, I believe, are only dropped from Opulent Salvage and the Merchant Shipwrecks. The wiki doesn't have any of the accurate prices, but on the wiki it says they're sitting at 12.7 mil.
Because
they've been taking forever to upgrade.
Way too cheap. I think
it is. I think at the moment it is.
In Soul Mission's video, I want to say they were at least 400 or 500 mil. Like it was kind of crazy the amount of money this man was dropping. But like he's a YouTuber, it's his job. He's gonna do it. No shade to Solo Mission for that, but it's gonna make it interesting getting to that point, both on the main and on the iron for me, because I don't have the money to buy it on my main. And I feel like it's gonna take like forever to get this stuff from a salvage. I may be
it's 1 in 18K.
Yeah, okay. So definitely not overreacting on that
Jack
one.
says 10.6 mil for dragon cannons. That's not too bad at all, actually. Still kind of expensive, but not too bad.
That's really not bad, actually. And that's sure to go down too as time goes on and more cannons come into the game. But 10 mil, I mean, I can afford 10 mil, I guess. But yeah, the stuff that getting on the iron is what I'm worried about. But listen, I mean, salvaging is probably how I'm going to train the skill inactively over time, because it's hella chill. So I can't think of any like other core XP methods that we could get into. So some of the more miscellaneous things that it doesn't necessarily have to involve XP or even like training, and we've kind of gone into it. So this is a good segue into like the miscellaneous of boat upgrades, boat design, all of that kind of stuff. I didn't get into much of any of that during either of the playtests. So I playtested it at RuneFest for maybe 20 minutes, and I did a bit of like port tasks, and that was about it. I didn't do any of the Barracuda trials in any of the betas or playtests. And when it came to like building stuff, it was really like they basically just gave you everything you needed. So for me, there wasn't a lot of getting into the nitty gritty with designing boats and upgrading stuff and seeing what everything can do. Having experienced it on a main and an iron, yes, it's a little bit more annoying on the iron, just because these things they feel like they take 5 ever to make. So if you're not familiar with some of the larger boats, for a sloop, you need large parts. And for a skiff, you need just like whatever the sheets are, the hulls. So to break it down, if you're building a hull, it's going to cost 5 planks per hull part. And then the boat itself needs like 10 to 15 of those hull parts. As you get to the bigger boats, so in your sloop, you need large hull parts. And guess what that is? That's 5 of the hull parts that you just made from the 5 planks. So already it's a big resource investment. I luckily have had a stack of planks and a stack of bars in the bank for a while. And so besides like the newer planks, I pretty much have everything covered when it comes to like the bars that I'll need and the wood, or all of the little like, bits and bobbles that go with it, like ropes and the lead and coal and whatever. I've got all of that. But it's a very different experience. Like I ran into the GE so many times to upgrade my boat, and now I'm trying to figure out like, okay, what's the best bank to smith at, or what's the best bank that has like a shipwrights bench or whatever it's called. So it's a different experience. But as far as like boat design, boat upgrades, facilities, 10 out of 10. I think there's a lot of room for expansion, which we've talked about a couple of times with other parts of this skill. And they could continue to add different boats, even different types of boats. There's the upper levels of the available space for like types of boats that we could have is quite exciting. I mean, you get your sloop at level 50. So 50 to 99, nothing exists other than the sloop. And there's the option to go big, there's the option to go fast, there's the option to go like party boat. I don't know if we're gonna ever get to the size of like a charter boat, because that would be kind of crazy.
I really hope we do. I really hope we
Yeah.
do, because they said you'll have like small, medium, and large boats, and the sloop, as big as it is still only considered a medium-sized boat. So like
Ooh.
picture how expensive some of these boats are going to be to make. So like, yeah, rosewood hull and dragon keel may not be particularly a flex on the skiff, right?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't cost you that much. It's just efficient to do. When you get up to the like mercenary ship, like when you sail by the Pandemonium and you see that motherfucker with like 20 cannons on the left and right side, how much that's going to be to fully outfit, how much it's going to cost in raw materials and keel parts to build. If they make like an ultra keel part, maybe like that could be so much fun, so expensive. That would be honestly crazy, right? But it would be a really good time. I really think there's room for expansion with large boats. I am slightly concerned that the way they have designed the ocean does not really accommodate large boats very well.
Doesn't.
And I think the large boats will be best suited for the new shit out there. They'll be best suited for the wilderness ocean. They'll be best suited for the Zaya ocean, right? When like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And you can use your brand new boat in this big open space. I think that's when it's going to shine the most. But for right now, like trying to get a charter ship through the storm temper in the Arden Ocean, or trying to navigate it through Crandor Island,
it's a nightmare.
it doesn't sound like it would be a good time.
No. I could see like in terms of usability, you could have like a charter boat that has multiple cargo holds and potentially places to have a bunch of crew. But the main thing is it's like a long haul. It's a long haul thing where you're picking up a lot of cargo from one end of the map to the other, and like it's best designed for places that you can like big open oceans and like nothing stops it. None of the different ocean variables affect it, and you can just sail anywhere. But obviously, you can't break rocks and stuff. So
You know what I would really like to see that I think would be interesting? If now that we've played it, what's pissed me off about sailing, like it's actually has been like, okay, this kind of sucks. I think I don't want to do it like this anymore. There's no way to easily repair your boat. You'll recover a boat when it has 10 HP, and that bitch will still have 10 HP when you recover it.
Yeah.
Right? There's boat food. That's it. It's just boat food to repair your boat. I think when you take it to a shipyard, you should be able to fully repair it. But what I think it has the potential to do going forward, I think there's potential to add like a ornate rejuvenation pool type beat
Oh,
on like a really big boat. Like maybe not that specifically. Tiki just posted, we're making a change next week to allow shipwrights to repair your boat for a fee. Additionally, when upgrading your boat, upgrades will restore HP back to your boat. Thank
hell
God
yeah.
they're aware of it, because wow, that was infuriating. But I do think it opens up the space for them to include other additions to your boat. Like I don't think you need to make it like a full POH level,
Wouldn't that be
right?
cool
But I
though?
think
Like a teleport
kind
focus
of.
where you can just set a destination or something.
Yeah, put a fucking nexus
A
in your
nexus
house.
in your
No, but I
boat.
think like a boat that stores, that has crates and cabinets for all the different tools you'll need. The saw, the spade, the
Yeah.
hammer,
Yeah.
like a tool belt essentially on board your boat. So you can get it like, damn it, I don't have a hammer. I'll go back on and get it. An ornate rejuvenation pool so you can heal your player character. But then balance that by like in the raid, for example, you can't take the super big boat in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. A bank chest is too broken. Obviously not a bank chest, but like I'm just trying to think of things that could, maybe even just like some social stuff, like some seats on the boat,
Yeah.
you know, something for you to do to add to these big boats to make them, I don't know,
Well, you could
more
do,
feasible.
yeah, like a party boat, but it has other uses than just like, hey, 10 of your friends want to they want to sail the seas.
Hmm.
Like there could be two sets of sails. Obviously, that would probably need to happen is you have two big sails and a couple of masts. Because I think once you get as big as like a charter ship, you're gonna need to follow the actual rules of boat sailing, and usually you get two masts. I mean, the charter ship I think has two,
Hmm.
but there's opportunity for like, yeah, Francine, yachts win. Like, let me sleep on this boat. Let me have a POH on the water. I think that would be pretty neat.
I think a
Now,
diet POH on the water would be cool.
well, you could throw in the caveat that this thing can't like dock at all of the ports. It has to have like a specific port that can accommodate that big size, and then maybe from that big boat, you can store your
Hmm.
raft in it to be able to. You have like you're going to the land raft, but it
Hmm.
doesn't have like a cargo hold and stuff. Um,
Yeah, that'd be fun. Almost like a little dinghy. Like
yeah,
that's a way to
dinghy.
store your
Hmm.
raft on the big boat.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
I was also thinking when you were talking about boat food, I could definitely see Jagex adding like a heal boat spell to the lunar spell book or something,
Hmm.
or boat repair, a spell that can repair your boat rather than needing like the physical boat food. Because if you just have a
Yeah.
spell that pops out like 20 to 30 HP for the cost of whatever runes it is to do plank make. Now, I'm not saying that we need to factor coins into it because that would just be ridiculous. But like
Hmm.
a spell seems like the next best thing to having like if you had a specific cargo hold for food, like a dry
Hmm.
locker or something that didn't go bad if
That
your
would be
ship
helpful.
if your ship
Yeah.
capsized. Because that's the annoying thing for me is I want to take boat food, but I don't want to keep it in my inventory, and I don't want to put it in my cargo hold for long periods of time because
Hmm.
to me, I'm treating stuff like in my cargo hold as if I could lose it at any moment and I'm not going to care. Um,
Hmm.
but for me right now, the things that are in my cargo hold, like if I'm putting cannonballs in there, if I'm putting a bunch of boat food, like salvage loot, sure, probably not the worst. But there are things that I don't want to put in there because you never know when you could just lose your boat. So if there was like a dry locker or something that you could actually store the boat food in, the repair kits. I know it's not food, so like doesn't need to be in a food safe storage, but just like somewhere in the boat, you put your repair kits and you never lose them. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And it's accessible from the helm. That would be cool too. I want a bag of holding, I think is the problem.
Yeah, the old bag of holding on board the boat. I do think an end game solution to the cargo problem would be nice, but it can't be one that makes port tasks the best XP per hour, because that's the problem. They're not balanced or anything. They're balanced around port tasks. That's why they're like that.
True.
So if you had one at like 95 sailing, where port tasks are just objectively the worst way to train, sure, maybe. But I feel like if you put that in anything below like 80, suddenly you could just spam port tasks, you know? Like, I feel like it has to be a pretty high level unlock. And maybe even it's not a high level unlock, but it just doesn't work with cargo. Like, it doesn't work with sailing specific cargo. It doesn't work with the actual like physical, the big ass boxes you carry. But it like there's a separate place for boat food, or there's a separate place for fish offcuts and a separate place for cannonballs. But things like the actual proper cargo, you're taking it from Civitas to the Great Conch.
Yeah.
That has to be stored in the cargo hold. The fish you get from salvaging, or not salvaging, the fish you get from trawling, right? Salvage from one place to another. That will be deleted upon teleportation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because of that stuff, it's like, yo ho, matey, we're too heavy to teleport. We gotta we gotta drop the load and get everything out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? I think that would be cool as an alternative to like let us feel comfortable keeping like boat food and cannonballs on board the boat in the end game without needing to totally sacrifice
the mechanic
everything in the boat. Yeah, like I don't want port tasks to be just like teleport from the bird in Civitas. Or no, you could do like Relica to pest control would be a pretty good one where teleports are close by. Relica to pest control back and forth would be pretty busted.
Oh, so
some big XP gains.
You're saying if that were the case and you could just keep all your cargo and stuff, then you would get a task, teleport your boat to the other port, grab it, teleport back. Like you could just do teleport simulator versus actually needing to sail. Yeah, that I didn't consider that, but you're absolutely right. Like the holdback to your cargo loses everything upon teleportation is it is port tasks. So
yeah, yep,
separating it out,
and that's just the problem with port tasks, right? Like we separate it out. I think, like you said, make some new lockers or something. Make some thematic fucking lockers so people can do all that without needing to get everything just like instantly deleted. I love that plan. It just does need a little bit of balancing to be considered, which I think is fine. I think if it's well balanced, is fun. So
nice. Well, I think we're nearing the end of this section. Anything else top of mind when it comes to sailing? Whether it be like overall expectations, reviews, anything we didn't cover.
I think I said it a lot on day one, and I will say it again here. Sailing is 100% the skill that old school RuneScape needed. Sailing is unquestionably, in my mind, the skill that this game needed to add. I think I talked about it a little bit. Obviously, I didn't talk about it on any of the episodes because sailing didn't exist in any of our most recent episodes. But I think all of the problems that we would have faced with the other skills have become non-issues with sailing. Combat is so simple that it doesn't need to worry about power creep. We had to fix every part of the game to make sailing work, and I like that. I think that we had to make RuneScape better if we wanted sailing to work. And I think we made it work, and I think we've made it work very well. I think any other skill would not have had the same effect. I think that's been super cool. I think obviously there's a little bit of jank in some places, but it's Jagex and it's old school RuneScape, and I would be shocked if there wasn't any jank. If it was actually a totally smooth release, I might honestly be a little alarmed, because What do you mean? It's like nothing is wrong with it. I think I experienced minimal issues on day one. I think my game crashed, like RuneLight crashed like once, maybe, but that's it, like once or twice over the literal 20 hours I played on the first day of sailing. I put 20 hours in that first day, so I was gaming. Didn't have any real performance issues, and I think the game was just better for it. So sailing was the right skill. To all my shamanism enjoyers out there, better luck next time, champ. If it doesn't lose to Bard or whatever the next skill is, I'll be rooting for you, but not for shamanism. Just for you specifically, because I care about you. But yeah, I think that about sums it up.
Nice.
I'm very happy with sailing.
Yeah, same. I think honestly, if you guys are tired of us talking about sailing, sorry, not sorry.
Tough shit, brother.
Tough shit. Like it's going. This is like, as far as podcasts are concerned, we are eating this up. In terms of free and fun content that we can just yap about, I think sailing is going to dominate the conversation for a while. I see, I mean, over the next couple weeks, I'll kind of lay it out for you guys. I think next week we start our winter break. So every other week starting, so we'll have an episode this week. We'll take off next week. Now, under normal circumstances, we would have taken off anyway, but it just so happens that next week is bingo. And so for us, it's nice to have that week off anyway. We would have done it if this was in the fall, but it worked out. So we'll take next week off and then we'll come back, I think, right around Christmas for our year in review. And then after the new year will be our 2026 goals episode. So we probably won't talk much about sailing. There'll be updates, obviously. Either Oxie or I will get 99.
Things will change. We'll get some updates. Things will change and be relevant.
Yeah.
We'll hear about sailing. You'll absolutely hear about sailing.
You'll hear about it. But I'm just pre-warning you, Oxie, and all the listeners, it's probably going to be a sailing conversation. I'm not saying majority of the time, but it's exciting and we're going to talk about it. So anyway,
we absolutely are, because I think our current cadence is December 4th, which is today, December 18th, and January 1st. So those will be the days when we release our episodes for you guys. And I hope you guys enjoy them.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be talking about, first of all, we're going to be doing the bingo review, and I'll be talking about how after a very hard fought battle against some very good teams that we came out on top. That's what I'll be talking about.
That's bold of you.
I just got the fancy sailor's outfit from doing the Barracuda trial on on the Gimbo.
Nice.
And I think Michael should send us to break.
Yeah.
What are we saying?
Let's go to break. We're going to play you a short commercial. If you're new to Xpwaste, it's not like advertisement.
But not a reused one.
Potentially reused, potentially new. Who knows? It's going to be cutting it. It's going to be cutting it pretty close to the wire if we expect to get a new commercial out. So who knows? And then after that, stick around for some community focused content. So we'll see you after this.
Ahoy there, citizens of Gillinor. My name is Captain Murphy, and I'm on the hunt for seamen. I need the hardiest seamen around, the best in all of Gillinor. What am I gonna do with all these seamen, you ask? I'm gonna take them out on my world-famous fishing trawler. Here at Captain Murphy's Fishing Trawler, we're going out to sea for a juicy bounty that only the open ocean can provide us. The seas at Gillinor are perilous, so grab your rod with both hands and fill your mateys' holes with that sticky hot tar. Yarg. The journey across the open ocean will be long and hard, but incredibly rewarding. You'll be coming home with enough fish to fill your sack for the next week, and if the luck of the sea be upon you, you might even leave with another man's soggy trousers. Yarg. Bring you and all your salty sea dogs down to Port Kezzard and sign up to take a trip out on Captain Murphy's fishing trawler. Be the seaman you were meant to be. Yarg.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial break, because I know that I sure did. 219 episodes later, this still never gets old saying, so I love it. Anyway, now's the time we're going to take a break, and not another break, but we're going to carve time out of this episode to thank the people who support us on our Patreon. We do this every single week, and it is very important. So we have 3 different tiers to talk about. The first one up is the Wise Old Man tier, and we have a new patron this week, and their name is Will. So thank you, Will, for joining the Wise Old Man tier. Appreciate your contribution. Appreciate your support. On the screen now is all of our current Wise Old Man patrons, and you guys also rock, and we appreciate your support as well. If you support in the Wise Old Man tier, the first week that you subscribe that we have an episode, you'll get your name shouted out. So that was for Will this week. And then every week after that, your names are on the screen. So bask in all of their glory. Each and every one of these patrons are amazing. If you're in the Wise Old Man tier, you get access to the recording booth chat. That's where that starts. And I'm always so appreciative of the recording booth. 2 times or 3 times this episode, Tiki dropped a little like in the moment fact check that really helped us out, honestly, because we would have looked like total idiots being like, yeah, I don't know about this. And
we've never looked like idiots before
Never.
on the show, so we can't have that start.
No, we just look like less of idiots with the with on-demand fact checking from our recording booth chat. So appreciate that.
And to your guys' credit, we did miss you last week. We realized as soon as we wrapped up, we're like, why didn't we invite the booth for that? We were so worried about getting the episode like working that we just neglected the booth, and that's on us because you guys deserve to be in the booth for the Thanksgiving showdown.
100%. We even commented it. We commented on it like mid-recording or something, or maybe towards the end. We're like, wait, where was
it? It was
recording
after
booth?
The fact. I remember. We're like, dude, we didn't even at the booth. We suck.
Never again. We'll always invite you guys. But that is the Wise Old Man tier. Moving on now onto our KBD tier. Everyone subscribed at the KBD tier is going to get a shout out by name. And we're going to do that here. Starting at the top, big thank you and big shout out to Two to Fly, Oxie's dad, my dad, all of our dad, Cloud Kicker, Crash Out Jack, Elite Oreo Dunker, Glob Mob, our third favorite Patreon supporter named Ralph, Run Metal 15, Ryan M, Rylithian, Sparky Life, Tregarius, and the Big G Jordy. Thank you again. And shout out to all of our KBD patrons. You guys are wonderful. I don't know what we would do without you guys, all of you in the Patreon. But I am very appreciative of the KBD tier. So thank you very much. Moving on now to our last shout out tier of the day. This is our Jad tier. And some of you have been with us the entire time, and you may have just received your last shirt. It looks like we have at least 2, maybe 3 patrons right now currently that should be nearing the 12-month mark of supporting each and every month at the Jad tier. So shout out to all of you, but I'm going to shout you out by name, each and every one of you. Big thank you and big shout out. Starting at the top, Flood Day, Franz S, Kyrandia, Mithro Fork, Petite River, Pirate Captain Satan 666, Soggy Waffles, the S tier Deviled Egg, and Woloznik. Again, that was our Jad tier. Big thank you, big shout out, muchos to each and every one of you. We love you and we appreciate you. If you would like to join us in our Patreon, you can do so by heading on over to patreon.com/Xpwaste, where you'll find a lot of other tiers we didn't mention today with some pretty cool benefits. So check that out. And if you would like to join, again, that is patreon.com/Xpwaste. The link will be in the description for that. But now we would normally go to the community question, but I think 2 weeks ago when we were doing our episode right before the Thanksgiving episode, decided like we weren't even going to read these answers for several weeks. So we didn't actually ask you a community question 2 weeks ago. And then last week was the Thanksgiving episode. We don't have any community question answers to read. But what I can do is ask you a community question, and that will be, so along the lines of boat trim, if they added a way for you to stain the wood on your boat, so that say you had the rosewood hull, but it wasn't like red and pink, what methods do you think they could add to allow boat stain, and what colors would you like to see? You can answer that question in the comment section on Spotify, or under the pinned comment of this YouTube video, where I'll have it more concise, and you'll be able to like reread that question because it was a lot. But yes, you can answer that in both of those places, and we'll read the answers next week. Moving on now to our final section here before the fun question, and that is achievement of the week, where I don't know if I'm going to be talking during this section. I might,
brother.
but actually,
it is achievement of the eon. Let me tell you,
we do this all.
It is
the time.
achievement of the eon, because for the last month, I think that I calculated it out the other day. I think the last time I documented for achievement of the week was on November 10th. The day of recording is December 1st. We got 20 days worth of achievements. Achievement of the goddamn century. So we're going to start things off. We got some absolute heaters in every category, by the way. We're going to kick things off in the miscellaneous category this week. And I want to start by shouting out Wallaby, Merrick, Crone117, and Shady Lady on all getting their quest capes this past month, eon, however fucking long it's been. Congratulations on getting or possibly re-earning. I think all of you guys have gotten for the first time your quest capes. We have some more capes of accomplishment, though. Additionally, we have B Daddy Casper, who earned their music cape, and we have Platypus 4, who earned their diary cape. Now, we got two here, and I feel like they're both equally as impressive. They're mano a mano for achievements. I really don't know which one to shout out first. I'm going to go with Bob Dole earning the fucking dragon clog stick for 1,200 collection logs.
Holy.
Bob Dole with the 1,200 collection log slots. You don't see that every day.
That's crazy.
You don't see that every. That's real cool. You don't see that every day. But speaking of achievements, you also don't see every day. Not like I said, mano a mano here. Jay Goose got 1,000 collection logs. Why would I shout out the 1,000 clog after the 1,200 clog, you might ask? Jay Goose achieved 1,000 collection logs with their fucking champions cape. So our folks are out here grinding.
That's cool.
You can't even say one's better than the other, right? Because in truth, I wrote them in the opposite order. I wrote Jay Goose first and then Bob Dole because of when I saw them in the Discord. They don't rival each other. They stand equal on the same pedestal of like, God damn.
It's cool.
You know?
It's really cool.
It's impressive. Yeah. Very impressive. It's rare the miscellaneous category gives us that many like, oh, God damn achievements. But when you do achievement of the fortnight for however long it's been since the last time we've done this segment, you get stuff like that. Moving on over to the combat achievements category now. We got a handful of first fire capes. So big shout out to Bird Fan Mac. I always see Bird Fan Mac and I remember young Mac. I know it's the same person, right? But I remember the terror of the chompy birds. And they're a bird fan. They really are a bird. They're not lying to you.
He's not young
Mac
anymore.
Is a bird fan. It may not be young anymore, but they're still a bird fan, damn it. Additionally, Bacon Iron, D-Iron Blood, and Kieran all got their fire capes for the first time. Speaking of first, though, surprisingly, only one first. In all 7 years it's been since our last achievement of the week. Only one first, with Dead Base Dad killing Zulra for the first time. I wonder what could have happened to make people not PVM. I don't know. Additionally, we really only have, well, technically we have two, but we have one that we'll shout out here with Bird Fan Mac coming in again with their medium combat achievements. So you got the Barrows IUD now. You can do Barrows without any prayer loss. This is where we start getting into the good points for the combat section, right? Coming in with I'm going to put a heavy emphasis on the asterisk here in the air quotes, the least impressive of the next few achievements, right? The least impressive. Clay, my boy Clay Torres, former bingo teammate, couldn't snag him this time, but former bingo teammate got his Menifite ornament kit, the one that goes on the ward, the shield, the 450 one, the 425 one, whatever it is. Least impressive, like I said. In the realm of kits, though, TNL Learner, Sutulu, Walazer, got Radiant Oath Plate. So finally, right? Radiant Oath Plate's
took
real
him long
hot.
enough.
I like it. I know. In the realm of first, my boy Bowmanator, another former bingo teammate who I don't even think signed up for this bingo. Bowmanator and I have played on like 4 or 5 different bingo teams together in TNL. Got his quiver. Hell yeah, big dog.
Nice.
Doing something I haven't. Love to see it, man. Hell yeah. That's my bingo team. Always improving no matter what. I love it. It feels weird because Michael's called it out. I think Michael called it out to me when I was in Texas. He said, the fact that you put the Infernal Cape last makes it seem like you peaked in high school. I was like, damn, Michael, that sounds real mean for someone who by that metric didn't graduate high school. But it does feel weird to shout this one out next. But for the sake of principle and tradition, I kind of have to. Another former bingo teammate of mine, a goat in our friends over at Raids Bank, God of Thunder, completed his Grandmaster Combat.
Let's go. That's awesome.
GM to GMs only, specifically God of Thunder with the Grandmaster Combat achievements. Congratulations, my friend. It's well deserved. Additionally, my boy Toddy, another good friend of mine from also, I believe, Raids Bank. I think Toddy has made the switch back to Raids Bank now from wherever he was, if he was anywhere to begin with. Toddy, shockingly enough, also got GMCAs and following that journey for quite a while. I don't think I've played on a bingo with Toddy per se, but I've spent a lot of time with him in other Discords. And those are two dudes who 100% they play like GM. They play like GMs. They've earned it. It's a badass achievement. It is so cool to see a GM home because we don't see those very often either. We do have 2 more though. Like I said, principle of the thing, and it's well worth it, right? It's all well worth it for these people because everyone has a story. Wallaby put a 60-second video in levels and achievements with all the planks and all the most comical but very much to be expected Inferno trials and tribulations, ending on the luckiest hit of that I've ever seen. This man got smacked by Zuck, died. The death didn't register because it was the tick after Zuck got killed. And he got the Infernal Cape with the no luck required CA.
Whoa. Okay.
Which was big. So Wallaby got their first cape for their second appearance this week. And then Blueberry, I think a year to date after getting their first ever Infernal Cape, which took them several months and several weeks, several attempts, and whatever it was, like the first Infernal Capes do. Blueberry jumped in no rigor on his GIM first try.
Oh, hell yeah.
Literally, when we say it's like riding a bike, like riding a bike, baby, you don't ever forget. You take it from me. You can plank like a shitter. You can know how to ride a bike and still fall off that bitch in front of your kids. Ask me how I know. But it's like riding a bike. Don't ever forget. So congratulations to Wallaby and Blueberry on the GIM for the new snazzy new Infernal Capes. I don't know, man. I'm biased. I love the achievement. What do you want from me? Anyways, this does bring us over to the skilling category. This is the biggest, the largest category of achievement of the week this week. We got a whole page. We got the 2-column whole page document.
Damn.
Combat miscellaneous, maybe that big. Skilling is the rest of it. There's a shit ton of achievements on here. Now, I want you guys to keep a running tally. By the request of our dear friend Clay Torres, keep a running tally of how many 2200 total levels I shout out this week. So just keep that in mind while we're going.
Here's a question for you. In terms of base levels, you shout out 2K, 2100, 2200, 2277. I know that 2277 is not really something we'll be shouting at anymore. It's going to be 2376. So does that mean we're dropping 2K in favor of 21, 22, 23, 2376?
I don't know.
Okay. just something
I was going to talk
chew
about.
on.
I was going to say, my man out here said, let's jump the gun a little bit, because I was going to bring that up at the end of this section, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because I was planning this out, and I'd taken the 30 years to type, right? It was taking a while to type. So we'll see what you guys think. But again, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So kicking things off, he DM'd me, this first guy, and he said, did you delay achievement of the week so you can get me on your bingo team? And honestly, Jack, yes, I did. It was all intentional. Just for you, baby girl. Because my boy and continual bingo teammate, sorry, Kale, my boy got 99 cooking, hunter, and wood cutting, and 2,200 total before the release of sailing,
Oh, hell yeah.
which is pretty cool. Continuing on, Beats by Steve achieved 99 cooking and 99 farming. Michael from the Xpwaste podcast, the Michael from the Xpwaste podcast, achieved 99 attack. Francine achieved 99 herb lore and 2,200 total level. Wallaby for the triple this week, in case you guys have not been paying attention, Wallaby with the easy triple this week achieved 99 Slayer and 99 mining. For Vitney, on the road to Max 2, Electric Boogaloo achieved 99 Slayer and 99 fletching, and I believe just shy of sailing. Forv is sitting real close to finishing the Electric Boogaloo. Just pay attention to that. Pay attention to that here in the next couple of months. Our boy, the Big G Jordy, achieved 99 strength and 99 hit points. Melvin Man achieved 99 attack. Claytorius has been banned from the Discord, but also achieved 2,200 total level. Diesel Daddy achieved 99 farming. Hutche achieved 99 fletching and 99 farming. Rafa D achieved 99 hunter. Mike Tendo achieved 99 wood cutting and, you guessed it, 2,200 total level. OG Monkey Mane achieved 99 hit points. Hex and Flex achieved 99 strength. Remac, he remade. Remade. He done did it. And he got 99 strength on his new hardcore Iron Man. The 12 bar Jumbie, a name that just flows off the tongue pretty well.
Yeah.
I like that one. I like that one a lot. Achieved 99 attack. Def Not Ruben achieved 99 cooking and 2K total. Def Not Ruben achieved 99 cooking and 2K total. I actually said that and re-recorded it because my voice peaked when I said 2K total.
It was really
cute, talking forever.
Actually, I'm sorry you guys didn't get to hear that.
You know what? Maybe you'll hear it twice. Who knows? Ninja Crumpet achieved 99 rune crafting. Dro achieved 99 fire making. Raymer, for the first time, submitted an achievement with his UI not looking all fucky. He didn't have his inventory upside down in the middle of his pit like he normally does. Raymer achieved 99 agility. Modern Major General achieved 99 Slayer. Big Fig BC achieved 99 strength and 99 hit points. One Tick Beers achieved 99 range. And while recording this episode, Lost Leaf achieved 99 attack. So, cracking off 2K total this week, we have Fishy Bun, Santher 5150, Seabird, Quest Caper, Shifty Sniper, and Ketone. Congratulations all on achieving 2K total level. Enjoy your brand new worlds if they're keeping 2K total worlds, right? Anyways, get out your books, people, because the tally ends here. So big shout out to Real Crazy, Circumcised, Shady, Fizzman, Bend Over Please, and Nady for all achieving 2,200 total level, independent of any other 99. Now, for the life of me, I don't remember which of those came before sailing, which of those came after sailing. Doesn't matter. You got new worlds, baby. It's time to party in your 2,200 worlds. Beautiful. We're not done yet, though. We do got a few more things to shout out. I feel kind of bad for these next three people. I kind of feel bad because the fact that I'm shouting you out now tells me that you got so close and you got to experience glory for like 24 hours. And now you've tasted it and you had to go back. There's nothing wrong with that, but now you know what you're fighting for, right? A cape worth fighting for. Because B Daddy Casper, Lemonian, and our good friend Rune Guy all achieved 2277 before the release of sailing. Those three, Michael, those three, B Daddy Casper, Lemonian, and Rune Guy, might be the last three people on Xpwaste to ever be shouted out for 2277 total level.
Wow. Okay.
I think they might be the final three people to ever receive the shout out for achieving 2277 total level, because at this point 2277
means nothing.
It's just a total level, baby.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean nothing, right? Though, if you do the math, the 2350 worlds are base 98s, which I think is hysterical. So, yeah, it's like base 98.2 or something. It's wild. So, It's pretty fun. I actually am. I could go to the 2350 Worlds if I wanted to. I'm 2359. I hit 82 sailing on the break. But those are our max capers. Jack just asked, we're going to shout out the 2300s. We'll get to that soon. But, folks, we have had a series of we've never seen before on the Xpwaste podcast. As a matter of fact, a series of achievements that prior to a few weeks ago, nobody has ever seen. So it is my great honor to congratulate Immortal, Ebu, Clues, the Taco Daddy, Paladingus, Zepski, Sudtone, Nuggy Nuggums, Furry Wall, and the OG GOAT himself, Too Fast Kills, on 99 sailing. Congratulations, folks. Some of you have re-earned your max capes. Some of you have earned your sailing capes, not your max capes. I don't know why you would push that hard without it, but you guys, we've seen the last and we've seen the first. Congratulations on 99 sailing. I hope the grind was fun. I hope it was worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed the skill. Let me know your guys' Gwyneth glide times, because I've heard some nefarious shit that people are getting sub 5-minute Gwyneth glide. That don't seem right. That don't seem right at all. But hey, I'm not 99. I wouldn't know. That, folks, is achievement of the last decade. It's taken about 38 minutes to do, but here we are. We've made it through. Congratulations to our sailors, our former max players, to our cloggers, to our GMs, and congratulations to everyone who did something awesome this week. You guys are all wonderful. If you did something awesome and you want to tell us about it, head on over to discord.gg/OSRSTNL, post about it in the levels and achievements chat, and we'll shout out the relevant achievements. But even if we don't shout you out, that's no reason to not post. People have been posting so many updates since sailing has come out, whether it's sailing related or not, right? Now, I know I mentioned it before I did the shout out and I forgot because I was on a fun little tangent there with shouting people out. But this does bring up the question. I want to leave it to you guys, XP Wasters. You guys are the ones who are getting shouted out, right? I'm not ever going to get shouted out on Achievement of the Week. So what I want you guys to do, talk about it amongst yourselves. Do you want any of the total level thresholds to change? Because at the moment, it's 2K, 2200 maxed, right?
Oh, you don't do 21?
That's how it's always been.
I gotcha.
We've never really done 2100 total.
Okay.
We've never really done 2100. It's been 2K, 2200, and maxed, because those have been the thresholds for the worlds that we've gotten. That's kind of what we've stuck with. Now with the addition of 2350, it seems a little redundant to do that with the worlds, because you've hit 2300, okay, or 2350. That's like saying you're almost to the finish line. Right? Like, do you want a medal for almost hitting the finish line? No. You got this far, damn it. It's 26 more levels. Get on it, you know? So I want your guys' thoughts. Do we do 2K, 2200, 2300 maxed? Do we stick with the 2K, 2200 maxed? Do we nix 2K entirely and just do 2200, 2300 max? Right? If it were me, 2K, 22, 23 maxed sounds good to me. But I want to know your guys' thoughts. You guys are the ones who are going to be shouted out. So if you want to do that, didn't think you'd get back-to-back Discord plugs, did you, bitch? Head over to discord.gg/TNL. Head over to the Xpwaste chat and talk about it in there with all the other folks in the Xpwaste chat, because we have objectively the best community in the world. Now, if you're new this week and you're thinking to yourself, well, I've joined after several weeks and they always say there's people in VC. Where are all the people in VC? All the people that would be in VC are in their bingo team chats right now. So if you're new and for the next week, you're like, Oxie, that handsome lion piece of shit, there are no people in VC. They're all in their team chats. And come not this week, but the week following, the week of December 15th, order might be restored, though people do burn out during bingo. So yeah, eventually people will return to the general VCs. But if you're playing bingo, you'll see it. There is a ton of people in chat. That's achievement of the week. And let me tell you, I don't think I've talked this much all day. And I talk to people for a living. So I'm going to throw it over to Michael, because as much as it might be time to go to bed, we still got to finish some stuff up for bingo, baby. Michael, my friend, I'll give you a choice. I can ask you, do you have a fun question for us this week? Or we can give the people a bingo tile, perhaps a bingo board teaser. Up to you. What do you think?
Let's do mine. Yeah.
Okay, let's do Michael's.
Okay, Booth, you guys know the drill. You are NDA'd until the episode comes out.
NDA'd from now until the day the episode comes out. And I hope this makes it in the episode so you guys know that we are serious. The people in this recording booth chat, if they leak, blood will be shed. I don't know whose blood. Could be theirs, could be Michael's, could be some medians. We don't know. It'll be somebody's. But blood will be shed if they spill the secrets. So Michael, dear editing Michael, in lieu of a fun question this week, let's do something else fun. And why don't you stick some tiles on the board for us? How about that?
Okay. So I'm gonna tee you guys up on this one a little bit. So as you probably have guessed, based on all of the leaks and all of the stuff we've been announcing, if you're playing the bingo, and if you're not playing bingo, I'm sorry, this doesn't really, you can't relate. It's okay. But we have been releasing tiles and board teasers this entire week leading up to the release of bingo. And you've probably guessed there's a theme, right? With the one that happened on Monday, it was the Gothics board, or it was Gothics themed, and our lovely event planner, Submediate, he posted a whole lore drop about Gothics and the different ages and things like that. So there is a theme, and hopefully you've caught on to it. But this is what we're calling the God Ash board, because there is no god higher than God Ash, who is he's our Lord and Savior. So the
final deity in the RuneScape pantheon.
The final deity in the RuneScape pantheon. So these are on screen now, are the 4 God Ash tiles that will accompany all of the other gods that we have planned for this board. These are unlocked from the start. There's no gimmick to these. You can just go for them if you really want to. So we're looking at Third Age, any piece of Third Age. The entire
our gods are.
Are you gonna get okay? Go for it.
I was gonna say, are you gonna be thematic with it? Are you gonna get thematic at all?
I don't have the names in front of me.
Oh, Michael, goodness me, Michael.
Okay, I'm gonna say what they. I'm gonna say. Okay, you say the name and I'll describe it. Okay, we'll start over.
Okay,
from the
sounds
top.
good.
Make it drop. Oxie's gonna say the first one is.
The first tile in the God Ash board is our God's Attire,
which is any piece of Third Age.
This is great because I'm saying the names. Michael doesn't have the tile descriptions in front of him, and he's just trying to rip these from memory.
So
this is fantastic.
2 things you wear technically. So we have
the next on our list. The next on our list is our God's Might,
and that would be any mega rare from any of the raids. Besides, okay, I say any. It is the
not any mega rare.
Yeah, right. No,
specifically,
sorry. Chambers is
the
dumb.
Twisted Bow, the Shadow of Tumekin, or the Scythe of Vitur.
Yeah,
specifically one of those 3.
Chambers
will be counted for the God Ash tile.
Sorry to the Kodai and the Elder Maul. Not a mega rare in our hearts.
The newest God Ash tile, one that was created today after we went a little, how do we say, off the script with designing the shape of this board for this evening before we recorded. The newest God Ash tile, our God's Companion.
Which is any skilling pet with some caveats that we'll have to iron out. But
so maybe pets do decide this bingo. You fuckers can't escape it.
Before today, and I don't know what that sound was. I'm so sorry. Before today, Pets are wild cards. When it comes to drops, normal drops like boss pets, we're going to be basically the only ones that counted. So if you were going for anything, like if you were just like AFK skilling and you got a pet, that's cool. Didn't count for the bingo. Now it does. Do we know the point totals for these yet?
I do believe so, but I don't know how much you want to give out to the recording booth chat. I believe a majority of these tiles are going to be worth the maximum amount of points possible, with one of them in particular potentially being worth partial points. And that's all I'll say on the matter, because the booth's NDA doesn't extend that far into classified information, right? The final tile that we've added, mind you, our God's Companion could be a terrible idea and we could end up changing it later to something different. Michael would have to edit it in post. We'll see if pets deciding the bingo could actually ruin the fun for everybody. But this is more of a golden snitch rather than a pets are worth 1 point type deal. Our final tile, our God's Protection. Do you remember this one, Michael?
I do. I'm excited about this one. So in most of the bingos that we've had in the recent years, there's been a Champion's Scroll tile. Single Champion Scroll. Get whatever one you want, which generally means you go and you kill goblins and you get the Goblin Champion Scroll. Or you get lucky with a Skeleton's Champion Scroll when you're killing like Calvarion or Vedion. So it's been something that we considered to be difficult, but there are easy routes to do it. This time around, fuck them. It's every Champion Scroll for this tile. You have to get every single Champion Scroll available to us in the game right now in order to complete this tile. We got some reactions coming in. Yuke said, these are unhinged. Love it. And Jack said, Jesus fucking Christ. But that is the reveal this week, folks.
I have been told by sources upstairs that it does not include the human champion scroll, because that is one person getting the entire cape.
Oh, okay.
So as funny as that would be to stick your like 1900 total level GIM player, and be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? How you feel about killing ghouls today? As funny as that would be, that's not what we're going to do. So...
okay.
Nope, that is not in the cards. No human is required.
So just the scrolls.
Just the scrolls. I think it's 9 champion scrolls, right? Just the 9 scrolls to get her done. And that's all it's going to take. And we say that's all it's going to take, like it's some easy feat. But you know what? Like we always say, fuck them. I hope you guys enjoy these fun little tile releases. Michael designed them. They're the only tiles Michael's actually designed on this board.
Yeah. That's fun to say.
So I hope you guys have enjoyed the bingo reveals up to this point. You might get another bonus one today if we like it. This episode comes out at like 3 a.m. on Thursday. We might have something spicy planned, One of the event planners might go rogue and just dump an extra board. Who knows, right? But you guys are getting these exclusively on the Xpwaste podcast. So, yeah. Get excited, folks. Bingo starts in like 2 days.
I'm excited.
So,
I will say, before we wrap up the show, it was fun to design these tiles. I don't know if I've talked about it in public, but I've certainly talked about it in the midst of the event planners. I didn't want a hand in this board design because I think not that my time is up or that I'm retiring from event planning, but I want to pass on duties and roles to fresh meat, whatever, like the noobs of the crew who will be taking over at some point. Like maybe I'm not even involved in planning. And so I want to give them the opportunity to flex that, give them creative liberties and see where they take it, because I can't do it forever. And I'm happy to pass it on. It's been something that I have enjoyed doing over the past 5 years. And it's something that I will continue to do if that's what's needed. But this was one opportunity for me to be like, hey, listen, if somebody else wants to do it, I'm gonna pass it on. And it turned out that like it just became a group project, which was so fun.
Everyone said, let's just get drunk in a VC one night and make them. And then we never had time to get drunk in a VC because the holidays were so crazy. But we did end up kind of all making this like very eclectic style board, which we all quite like quite a bit. So it's a group effort for this year's board.
Definitely. Well, folks, that is it. This is another long one for y'all. And yeah, we've had some short
We
ones.
still got a meeting after this, baby. Woo!
Yay! So I know that some of them in the past couple weeks have been a little bit shorter. So we always like to get a long one out. But like talking about sailing, wrapping it up, that was never going to be a short episode. But if you'd like to have more content from us, filling your ear holes, you can check out all the links in the description below. There will be a description on YouTube as well as all the audio platforms that you check out, that you listen to the show on. So give that a little peruse. We have our shop. Some new merch just dropped. I think since the last time that we talked about the shop, we've got the license plate series up on the shop now. I'll put some pictures of that on screen just to give you a little preview in case you want to go there. But if you want to check out those license plate shirts, you can go to xpwaste.shop. Again, the link for that will be in the description. Check out our Patreon, check out our socials. If you want to send us a fun question, you can do so by mailing us a postcard or sending it another boring way. But if you wanted to send a postcard, you can do so, and we'll hang it up on the back wall there right behind me, and we'll read your fun question on the pod. That's all the official stuff. I want to thank you guys for listening. Thank you for all of the engagement in this episode. It was great, and I appreciate you so much. So thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you guys not next week, but the week after. Bye.
Bye, everyone.